Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this Tuesday edition of Gaming After Dark, episode 37. As a matter of fact, big thanks to Perry and the GameComplainers for holding down the fort for two of the last 3 weeks due to hockey playoffs and stuff. But here we are here and ready to roll back on my channel. Again, thanks to the chat for being here. We got a full crew lined up for you, minus Ur Wicked Hawt, who couldn't be with us this evening. He's just got a little bit too much on the go at home. But hey, that happens to the best of us. And that is what we call life. It gets in the way sometimes. But anyway, we do have a good show for you. We got a couple of hot topics, and can't wait to get things underway. But any further ado, again, I'm your host, Newf Nukem, and let's bring in the panel, starting with the man, the shaded wonder himself, the GameComplainers, a.k.a. Perry.
What is going on, everybody on the panel and everybody in the chat? We're ready to have a great night tonight, so buckle up and enjoy the show.
All right, and if your mothers are handy, make sure they close the door because the Red Menace himself is ready to go.
Ooh, the Red Menace is here looking for everybody's moms. You know where she's at? I do. What is up, everybody? Gaming After Dark, episode 37. What is up, chat? Y'all looking lovely as usual. What is up, my boys? How we feeling tonight?
Right.
All right, the schizophrenic one himself is ready on standby. We were talking about the wonderful Sir X-Man. He's ready to go. What's happening, sir?
Yeah, the Red Menace said he don't care if it's the first of the month. He ready for you.
Ready?
Let's go, everybody. I'm just waiting like 30 more minutes until my game releases so I can play it on PC and Xbox, whichever. I might stream it tomorrow.
Gotcha. Sounds
Let's
good.
go.
All right, X-Men. I certainly hope that the game turns out to be everything that you hope
I played the beta, the alpha, and the demo. So,
and we all on this panel hope that it's a good enough game that we don't have to hear you talk about bowling week in and week out.
I know. I needed something to get me away from bowling, bro. Oh, yeah, 4-7 on PC.
Yeah, if you touch your balls anymore, we're going to start thinking you're gay.
Wow. I knew you were going to go there eventually.
Oh, all right. And to top things off tonight, replacing Ur Wicked Hawt, we're bringing in a special guest. You guys know him as there he is. It is Frank. It's in the building. What's going on, brother?
What's up, everyone? Thanks for having me again. I love being here, so this is great.
It's great. You fit right in, man. You're a good character, and we love having you. So thanks for accepting the bat signal on a bit of a late notice. But yeah, here we are. And let's
we feel so special.
He is special. Look at that face. He's a special boy.
You are special.
A special retard.
Special. He's so very special.
We got Talos Ray in the chat. What's happening, my good brother Talos? Good to see you here. We have got Hockey Fan hanging out with us as well. Dravenero is in the building. Good to see you, my friend. And we are ready to roll. Hopefully more people show up in the next few minutes. Share this out, guys, if you're able to. Hit that like, comment, or subscribe. It's always appreciated. But anyway, let's
You late. I did it already.
So obviously we know what Sir X-Men's going to be playing in T-minus a half an hour. But what's everybody else been playing? What's been keeping everybody busy? Start with you, Perry.
Death Stranding 2.
Nice. And how is it?
You are a brave man.
You enjoying it so far?
What?
Are you enjoying it so far?
Oh, yeah. No, I like this game way better than the first one. And I'm not like a fan of the first game. I bought the console, the PS4 Pro, when it came out, the white one with the PP controller. And I don't know, man. The game was just kind of weird, and it ran like crap. So I was like, whatever. I sold all that, got rid of it. Then I bought it on PC, and I was like, all right, the game's at 60 FPS. It's playable. And it was all right. It wasn't that great. It wasn't that bad. You know what I mean? It was in the middle. This game is like the same game, but they give you weapons this time around. And I'm like, all right, cool. This is like,
thank you,
a Metal Gear type version of the game. So I'm down with it. And I put about 5 hours in, and I'm liking it. So
how much walking did you do so far?
It's a lot of walking, a lot of
still there.
A lot of tipping over.
a lot of rocks. I do like when he falls down, though. I think it's pretty funny.
So what you're saying is it's like a unemployed drunk guy simulator.
Yeah, it's true. It's they basically just remade the first game again. They just gave you weapons this time, and it looks a lot better. Obviously, I'm on the PS5 Pro.
The
over
graphics
here.
are amazing.
So
Amazing.
do you think Death Stranding 2 was the inspiration for Walking Simulator?
Probably. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe Goat Simulator with all the weird shit going on in that game.
Ghost Simulator is fun though.
Yeah.
It is.
Goat Simulator.
Proto Foxy, what have you been playing, brother?
Oh, man, I'm still in my Sonic kick. So after I got through all the stuff in Origins the first time, I went into Sonic Mania again. And I'm just about through my first playthrough as Sonic. I'm going to go through all the characters. Needed a bit of palate cleanser because, like I had said last week, been playing a lot of shooters, beat Doom the Dark Ages and shit like that. And it's like, okay, I need a change of pace for a bit. So, and, of course, because Perry hooked me up with a bunch of stuff not too long ago, it's like, okay, we got to start firing this up. So I'm going to start working my way through that. But yeah, it's Sonic.
It's Sonic. Boom.
You broke out again, yo, Mike.
No, the
lost
mic.
contact with the universe. He hit Sonic Boom levels, and he is now in space.
Now I'm in space. Yeah.
Oh,
No, I
there you go.
had actually stopped. That was the end of my thought.
Oh, jeez.
Were you
the way
lost
it ended,
in
It really
space?
sounded like we'd lost you for a second. It was
Yeah, I know, right?
It's like, okay, he's gone. I think his mic just cut out or something. All right.
Nope,
Okay.
I'm still here. Yeah, no, I was
Awesome,
lost
man.
in space for a bit.
Nice. Well, hey, man, you can never go wrong with the Sonic games, whether they're old or new. There's always something good to play in that series. Some are better than others, but yeah, but you're playing some of the good ones. And let's go to Sir X-Man. What have you been fiddling with your thumbs?
Bowling, Forza Motorsport 7, because they brought the online back. So I've been having fun. I got it on my PC. I own it, so I don't have to. It ain't in Game Pass. If you own it, you can play it.
Right.
But you can play it on PC too. So I've been doing that, and I played some a little bit more of Midnight Sun. Not Midnight Sun. What's that game with the black girl again? What's the name of it?
Oh, South of Midnight.
South of Midnight?
Yeah, South of Midnight. I played a little bit of that. Do y'all know that South of Midnight has a God mode?
Oh wow!
And you still get all the achievements. Yep, it has a God mode in there. Cool. Yes, and I was like, thank you.
Is that accessible through like the menu, or do you got to do something special?
Yeah, it's in the menu. You got to go to the the screen option screen, and you'll see if it's under accessibility.
Okay, so it's kind of for like people that struggle with those games, so they kind of turn on a mode to help.
Yeah, and I'm too old for that right now. Tomb Raiders I can play on hard all the time, but that one I was like, I got tired of the dying with the hack and slash that they had in the game, and I was like, come on, do they have it? I was like, yes.
You know what though? I will say
something
this
like that over to those Souls games. Yeah.
I might reinvest now.
You'll probably buy the whole series.
I will say this though, to riff off of that with X-Man, it's like I'm noticing a lot more games are doing that, where they'll like make all of the achievements or trophies like accessible from like an easy mode. So that's kind of a nice little thing to have.
Hey, God mode is the easiest mode you can have. You can't die.
That's why I play most of my games on PC, because I use trainers and it gives you like infinite health and all that. Because like Sir X-Man, I'm getting old too. I don't have time for this shit.
Right. Yeah, I just want to play the story. That's all. I want to see the damn story.
Yeah, I mean, same thing. I mean, I've got a limited time to play any games anymore. When you sit there, you're like fighting a boss for fucking 40 minutes. And you're repeating a giant fucking level. Like, this ain't the 80s anymore. This ain't the 8-bit fucking era. Like, I don't have the time to replay and go at it. And then I'm supposed to feel excited and rewarded. I totally get why people like it. Nobody can dissuade that. I understand the sense of achievement.
Right.
We all do. But I mean, say a normal game is hard for a lot of us. Like for me, I play the majority of the games that I buy. I play them on normal, and for the most part, most of the games are tolerable on normal.
Yeah,
sometimes they're even a little bit easy on normal. But I'll turn up the difficulty if I feel it's too much of a cakewalk. And at the same time, I might have to tune it back if all of a sudden you get your fucking ass kicked so many times that the little screen pops up. Would you like to turn down the difficulty? I might be like, yeah, maybe I should.
Oh, and Forza is like, do you want to turn up the difficulty? You're beating these people too easy. Like,
yeah, okay. Yeah, and I keep turning it up, and I'm still beating them. Like, Jesus, how high do I got to go?
But yeah, I'm glad they put put that in the game. So that way, when I go back and play, I will play it again. When I go back and play it again, I can turn the difficulty up some and work through it. You know, I just want to get through to see the story of the game.
Yeah. I mean, don't you guys feel like if you look at it from the perspective of a developer who puts in 5 or 6 years of hard work and say 25% of the public that buys their game never plays it to completion, don't you feel like that's like awful in a way? Like, wouldn't you want people to get to the end and see the full thing through? Because can you imagine if people put movies into theaters and most of the fucking people that went in and bought the ticket walked out after 20 minutes all the time? Be like, yeah, fuck this shit.
That's because it's a bad movie the minute you walk in.
Yeah, well, it's even worse when you got a great game and nobody wants to play through it because it's so fucking difficult. You're like,
right.
No, I'm done.
Or it's too long.
Yeah,
right?
and it was
Or
it was like Death Stranding when it first came out. Am I walking for? They said, well, once you get to the first 5 hours of walking, the game picks up. Nobody wants to do that all the time.
Yeah.
Some people say 15 hours. I'm like, are you serious?
It's like
when I played that Assassin's Creed Odyssey game, like as cool as that game was, I got sick of it after a couple hours. Like this fucking shit's like retarded. I was like,
yeah, there were too many side missions.
I don't get fucking nowhere in this thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Holy crap, man! How big are these damn games? I'm after completing none of how many major missions, and 20 hours in, you feel like you're still at 5%. You're like, what the fuck is going on?
Well, Frank's a young guy, so he can play games on hard like that.
No way. I got kids. I don't have time for that.
Yeah, you got the time, and most importantly, you got the patience. All the power to you. I don't care if you like him on the hardest difficulty. You get the achievement. Great, bravo to you, man. Take your bragging rights and go. But I don't think any of these games should be to the point where it's not accessible to any level of gamer, right?
Hey, Newf, you know what's bad? When you have a game, okay, it's moderately hard, and then you be like, you know what, I'm gonna try this a little bit later when I have the patience. Then you come back to it like months later, right? And you be like, now I know why I put this shit.
I've even said one small thing in games. The games should have and to have the ability to do it, they should have an adaptability level in each game. So if the game knows you're struggling in a certain area or a boss,
they used to do that.
They tune back the level of difficulty so they give you a chance to beat it. You still have a sense of accomplishment, but you don't feel like you're getting constantly bombarded or punished. I think that shit's good because you still have a difficulty, but it'll tune itself back to at least make it accessible.
You know what games do that? I believe it or not. I don't know if they still do it for some of the games, but a lot of fighting games do that. A lot of fighting games do that. If you're having trouble with a boss, they'll dummy your next time down.
I like what Nate says here in the chat. You can play the difficulty that's comfortable for you, knowing yourself is important as a gamer. Sadly, a lot of gamers don't. He's very right. But with saying that, there are some games out there that don't even give you the option of a difficulty.
Nope.
You're just playing on whatever the fuck they give you.
Yep.
And it's and you might get some codes at the end. Maybe if you're lucky enough to beat it, then they give you the cheat codes or the extra ammo or the whatever the fuck it is to go through the game like a madman. But then you're kind of like, well, that's kind of pointless. I needed this when I started, not now.
You know what started out? You know what started that mess, New? The first real Dark Souls game, Ninja Gaiden, the first and original one. You had to go through that exactly how it was.
And that's how the PS2 Shinobi was too. It was really difficult right out.
There's been games for a long time. So, what have you been playing, brother?
Kind of actually on topic to this. So, I
Dark Souls.
I haven't had too much time, but I've been checking out Breath of the Wild again because on Switch 2 it has the update, which is excellent, and it gives you a new game slot. Because I beat the game back in 2017. It actually said the last time I played it was like 2017. And I'm playing through it a little bit, and I find myself getting really pissed off and frustrated because I'm dying all the time. And I'm thinking, like, man, I beat this game 8 years ago. I had a lot more patience 8 years ago. And now that I'm going back to it, now I'm like, dude, I don't even know if I could get through this whole game again.
Isn't that funny?
It's crazy the difference that it makes as you get older and you just don't have the patience anymore. But yeah, I mean, it's excellent on Switch too. If you haven't played through it, it's great. Sure. But it does get frustrating.
You are right. I mean, times change, we change. I mean, a lot of us now, we had to go back and play the 18 and 16-bit era games. Most of us would never get through half the games we beat back then. I know I would, because I play some of them now and I get 2 or 3 levels in. I'm like, yep, I'm done with this. I beat most of those games when I was a kid, and they were hard as fucking hell, but that's all you had to play. And you had to stick out with that one game for many months because they were expensive, and they didn't make fucking 40 games a month. You know, like you had that one game, and your mom would tell you, you ain't getting another one until you fucking finish it.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, our reflexes are slower now. That's the problem.
This is true.
You're absolutely right, because by the time now my wife gets her pants down and mine are off, I'm fucking done anyway. I'm ready for bed.
The whole workout just to get undressed.
Yeah. Thanks for the eye candy, and now I'm tired. Thanks.
And it's like, and I'm spent.
I'm not touching that.
Well, if you're touching my wife, there's something really weird going on.
He's got a really long reach.
I thought it was a cat under the sheets, but there's an old black man in there touching my
Hey, you know what? And you know the sad part, the way women are now, she's like, you want to join us, honey?
Oh, she probably like, oh.
That one places that we weren't expecting.
He's got 2 balls. You just got one.
That's what she said, Proto.
He's got 2 ball heads. You got one.
Oh.
I'm not touching.
Hey, kids, take your earphones off right now. Put this on mute.
This is Gaming After Dark.
Amen. RWK and Nate, Dark Lord Alou, thanks for being here, guys. Hope you're enjoying the show so far. Hit that like button and all that good stuff. So that's great. We got some vintage games in here, a little bit of new stuff. And for me, I don't know. I haven't been playing a lot of games this past week, quite honestly, with you. This past week, and I like I said, I was too sick, so I didn't get to carry over the Mario Kart World on the game day. We tried Call of Duty Modern Warfare. It went okay. I mean, for the first screw up was I thought the game was on Game Pass, so although one of my buddies couldn't join us because it wasn't downloadable, he was going to pay fucking $50 for a game that came out years ago. Like, why Xbox hasn't got all the Call of Duty games, especially anything older than fucking 2 years? They should all be on there. Part enough.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
Yeah.
How about in-game pass? I own them all. I bought them when they came.
Well, that's
Yes,
great. You own them. Not everybody does. But why isn't the
It's
whole
true.
collection? That's what you bought the whole fucking Call of Duty franchise for. Like, are you still trying to fucking milk people for those goddamn games? Like, fuck the DLC for that shit still. $20 Canadian. Like, what the
Well,
fuck?
I like the 360 versions of Call of Duty more though than I like.
It is wild that you mentioned that because they're now advertising. They just put World War II on Game Pass, and it's like, I mean, great for anybody who hasn't played it, but I'm like, man, I beat that game when it came out, like 8-9 years ago. It's like shit.
And World War II
like
was in the
$10.
OG Xbox, right? That wasn't.
No. This is
Xbox
the game
One.
World War II. So it was Xbox One and PS4.
They need to put the two greatest were Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 from the 360 on there. Those were the juggernauts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to add World at War in there, though, man, because World at War was fucking incredible. Oh, come on. World at War was amazing.
There was nothing like being in the desert in there and fighting in the cave, and then you had somebody on the damn mountain shooting you when you came out the damn cave. Hey, you told your friend, would you please kill that dude? You know which map I'm talking about with the airplane.
Dark Lord Alou, I did hear that the Nintendo Switch is going up in Canada. We're talking about the original model, not the sequel. There's a possibility. I definitely know there's going to be price changes to the subscription model. We're going to talk about that here on the show. Don't worry. So we'll get into that a bit later. So,
oh, like you didn't know that was coming,
right? It's like almost as predictable now as stepping in dog shit in the backyard, right? It's going to happen.
Yeah, this is true.
I don't know
All
how
right.
to respond to that either. I'm not touching that.
Anyway, all right, let's get into the first topic of the night. It is obviously, you guys know it is July the 1st. For those who are not acquainted, it's Canada Day. It's to celebrate the birth of our nation up here in Canada in the Great White North. Speaking of Canada, cheers to Dizzy Delta, who's in the chat. What's going on, brother? Wicked Hawt could not be here with us tonight. He's got some personal issues he's got to take care of, but I'm sure he'll be back next week. It's too bad because, but anyway, well, hopefully we'll see him next week. But good to see you, Dizzy. Dark Lord Alou, hockey fan, is in the building. What's going on? RWK88. But it is Canada Day. in my community, and we're one of the few communities that actually celebrate with a parade. Later on tonight, there'll be some concerts and then fireworks, and then it's kind of all over, and then it's back to work tomorrow morning. So, yeah, it kind of sucks when Canada Day falls in the middle of a week because then you got to go back to work the next day, unless you want to call in sick from the hangovers, which many will probably do. But yeah, so it's not really a big deal. It's basically the same as you guys celebrating Independence Day, more or less, just for us Canadian dudes. All right, Rob, what's going on, brother? Good to see you.
You're
Yeah,
still trying to kill Terrence and Phillip, dude. I'm just letting you know.
absolutely. It's all right. Carney's up here killing us anyway, so. Oh, my Lord.
You think you got it bad? We got it worse, dog.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on, man. Honest to God, I feel like we're living in a clown world. But anyway, I digress.
I'm waiting for the aliens to come and save us all.
They don't want nothing to do with us. That's the sad part now. They looked at us and
keep
go,
flying by.
They're like flying away now. They're like, they're packing up and going home. We're like, fuck this shit. What do we want?
They want you to.
Anal probe with these guys anymore. Huh?
They want you to.
Came down here and got some kind of venereal disease after anal probing people and took off. And fuck that shit.
Is that what happened to Wiki?
That could be. He spent some time in the mothership.
The Cyclones got him.
He got called back home.
You call back home. So just to celebrate a little bit, I thought because I never get a chance to really do a Gaming After Dark on an actual Canada Day, so that's why I decided to go with this tonight. And I'm sure each of you guys on this panel, no matter where you're from in this world, and most of you guys are in the United States, but at some point you probably played and loved a game that was actually made in the Great White North. And if you aren't familiar, there's been a lot of game development north of the border. And part of it has to do with our government likes to invest in tech companies and game companies up here. They usually give incentives for people to go to school and take the courses. They also invest in companies that are obviously invested in the game industry. And obviously, too, as well, if you're an American company, you basically open a development studio north of the border because the dollar, the exchange rate. So technically, you can get a better return on investments. You pay less money because your dollar's worth a hell of a lot more than our free monopoly money is up here. So that's always a good thing. But anyway, if you can see on the screen, I just brought it up courtesy of Wikipedia. There's a bunch of developers here. So I'll just kind of let you guys run down through them here, starting in A. We go down through. I'm not going to read all these things out, but I will go down to the panel. Let me know if you want to look closely at a certain developer here, but there's a lot of good ones in this list. There's certainly a couple that I can see straight out. And let's start with Perry. Perry, what is perhaps your favorite Canadian developer? And the game doesn't have to come from that developer per se, but what is your favorite Canadian developer overall, and perhaps your favorite Canadian game that you ever played?
Looking at that list, I would say Beanox. I think they did some of the Call of Duties, but they did the Spider-Man games back in the day.
They did.
And those games were really good, in my opinion. And I want to say something because when Spider-Man came out for PS4 and everyone was like, oh my God, this game is so amazing and it's innovative and everything. I'm like, Beanox already did that with Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2.
Yep.
So
the games were a little bit more linear, I suppose they were, and the combat wasn't quite as evolving. But yeah, you're right. They definitely did a lot of really good things with their games.
Yeah, the Marvel Spider-Man stole a lot from the Beanox Spider-Man games. That's for sure.
Yeah, and they were pigeonholed with licensing too because they were doing the licensed property version of the games. If you guys probably remember that some of the better Spider-Man games were ones like Shattered Dimensions and where they could branch off and do their own story as opposed to being pigeonholed to a movie, and you couldn't really, That's a great pick. I wasn't expecting it, but that's an awesome pick. Beanox. Yeah, right now most people know them for usually being a co-developer on the Call of Duty franchise.
Yep.
Let's have it over Proto Foxy. How about yourself, man? Favorite Canadian dev and favorite Canadian game?
Digital Extremes. Gotta love them. They had their hands in with Epic in the first Unreal Tournament. And then, of course, the game I had spent a whole shitload of time playing right around the time you started resurrecting Gaming After Dark, that was Warframe. And it's still going strong. I haven't jumped back into it yet, but, 250 plus hours into a game, it's safe to say that I enjoyed it. So
damn. Man,
but yeah,
I didn't realize they did Warframe. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, that's their baby, Warframe. And then they actually even did the spiritual predecessor to it, which was because I have it. I just bought Dark Sector on Xbox 360.
Yeah, that was actually
So
pretty good.
because originally Dark Sector was meant to be, or Warframe was meant to be Dark. There's a whole big documentary on it. But when they were originally developing Dark Sector, it was what Warframe became. But they couldn't get it because the tech wasn't there. But you watch all the early trailers and shit, you see how it's like, oh, okay, this is pro Warframe shit. But yeah, that's their baby, and they keep it going strong. And for a game that dropped in, what was it, 2013, and we're in 2025 now, and they've still got, millions of players, and it's still a very active community. I will say, even too, with Digital Extremes just being a really awesome dev and everything, they're just super involved with everything they do, and especially what they put into that game. So it's nice to see, and it's really refreshing. It's not like these big AAA devs where they put out schlock and then just let it out to pasture after they put out a couple of DLCs. They're on it, and their community's good, and they listen to everybody. So if there's something that's out of whack, they go right in and fix it. But that would be my pick, Digital Extremes.
Okay, we got two that are very surprising. Let's go to Sir X-Man. How about you, man? What did any Canadian companies here on this list that strike your fancy?
The Mass Effect series.
Okay, so from BioWare.
Yep.
Very good. That's
the
one of the ones I expected
man.
somebody to say.
That's the top dog. And there was one more by Ubisoft Montreal. I can't remember it just yet.
Ghost Recon?
But it was a great game. Of Ghost Recon.
They did a lot of the
original Ghost Recon, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the original Ghost Recon. Oh hell yeah, that game was ridiculous, dude. But yeah, you gotta give it to Mass Effect for being the top game made in Montreal, dude. It has to be Mass Effect.
Didn't Ubisoft Montreal do the Rainbow Six?
They did Siege.
Siege, right?
Yeah, they didn't do the original ones. They did Siege. Oh yeah, I forgot that. Deus Ex, Human Revolution.
Deus Ex. Yeah.
I love that game.
Right.
I beat that game. It was so
that was EDOS, right?
Yeah, that was IDOS. Yeah, IDOS Montreal. Yes.
Montreal.
They're
on this list here, right? Yeah. IDOS Montreal, yeah. Yeah, you bet.
Oh wow, real quick. I didn't know they made Cuphead in Canada.
Yeah, and IDOS Montreal was the team that was behind Lara Croft was a Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Shadow of the Tomb Raider, yes.
Yeah. Nice.
Okay, I'm done. You
Very
know,
good.
if it's a Tomb Raider, you know that's on my top spot.
Absolutely, yeah. Radical Entertainment, Relic Entertainment, Rockstar up here on this list. Yeah, there's definitely some great companies on here. Who didn't I go to yet?
Me.
Yes, Frank.
Oh yeah, the little guy. You can't forget
The little guy. Yeah.
I am short, so that makes sense. But I'm gonna go with one that's not on the list that Sir X-Man just mentioned. Studio MDHR was founded by two guys in Ontario, and dude, Cuphead. I saw that in a magazine like before anything, and I was like, I need this game. And I remember just waiting, and it finally came out, and it lived up to the hype. I mean, that's one of the best games I've played in a long time.
That game is hard as balls,
but it's so good. Like the animation is awesome. I love animation stuff. The gameplay is solid. Like it's just a tight feeling game. It's good. It's just really, really good.
The funny thing was you could play it co-op, and I always found it was harder to play co-op because there's too much stuff going on.
Yeah, it was so much harder to play it by yourself. Yeah.
Fuck, because you can't see the bullets on your dudes like jumping around you, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yep.
Should be easier, but it's fucking harder now. Thanks a lot.
I didn't know that was made in Canada.
Yeah,
yes, sir.
It was
how
two
you
guys
know
who
that
founded
one?
it.
By Roger Mulhauer, isn't it? And
how y'all get Star Wars Outlaw? Really?
That was Ubisoft Montreal.
I also like Ubisoft Montreal did Far Cry 5, which I really enjoyed. I think that was the last good Far Cry. So
that's right.
I wonder if there's another one. Yeah,
Oh,
you know,
Relic
they missed a lot here because there's also Visual Concepts that's not even on here, and they make a lot of the sports games for EA,
Right.
oddly enough.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right? There's EA. See, they have. Well, I guess they consider them under EA Vancouver, possibly, but yeah, you got. It's actually the developer itself is Visual Concepts, right? And they were used to be under Sega's banner for a long time. They were making
Yes, they
games
did.
for the 2K series.
Our Dreamcast games.
Yes, sir. The Dreamcast stuff, that was Visual Concepts until 2K bought them all out, and now they're under the EA banner. So
Bad 2K. Bad 2K.
I still
You-
like
Visual Concepts. No, Visual Concepts makes the game. No, did they do the EA ones or is they doing the 2K ones?
they used
No,
to be.
because
with
I think it's Tiburon. EA Tiburon does like the football. I think that's the one.
Tiburon. Yeah.
And
yeah.
it's EA that does the hockey as well. It's up here. They do the football. I know they do Madden football and the soccer. It's the EA out in Vancouver. Yeah, so I think Visual Concepts. Yeah, I think they're still with 2K.
Relic used to do the Alien games. I used to play those.
Right.
Okay,
those are
yeah.
good games. Cool. As for myself, favorite developer on here is going to go because it's my favorite series, and that is going to be the Coalition. How can I not like the Coalition when they make my favorite franchise, right? They're based out of Vancouver. They used to be called something else formerly. What the hell was that name? Anybody remember the old name of Coalition? They were something before they made the first. They had a different name just before they made the first Gears of War Ultimate Edition, and then they changed it right before that game came out. I forget what they're called. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. The Coalition is how they go as now, and we know them. They will have Gears of War Reloaded coming out here in just a couple of weeks. And then, of course, Gears of War Judgment Day launches sometime next year. Looking forward to that. So that's my favorite.
They're doing that in Canada? They're doing that in Canada? Really?
They're doing it in Canada, baby.
Wow.
Yes, sir. That's what I'm telling you. There's lots of shit going on up here in Canada.
I didn't expect that.
But my favorite franchise, though, like I'd say my favorite games, I got to go with the old, and I'm going to go with Dizzy, like old BioWare, because I love the Mass Effects game. I think overall that's the best trilogy I've probably ever played in my life. One of the very few sci-fi RPGs I've ever invested like hundreds of hours in between all the games, and even like Andromeda to some degree, which was done out of the studio in Montreal mostly. But, man, if they ever get their shit back together, they're forced to be reckoned with. But, again, it's a lot of new people at the helm of BioWare, and there's a lot riding on the next game in that series, in the Mass Effect series. And it's still a ways out, apparently. But when it does drop, guys, we better hope that it's a good one, because I think one more game like that, a marquee game that tanks, that fucking studio is going to be in serious trouble. You know, we're already hearing lots of talks after that fucking disaster that was Dragon Age came out.
I can't believe I'm about to give Canada some credit. I can't believe somebody's Canada, EA Big.
EA
was in
Big.
Canada when they developed the original SSX.
Mhm.
I hate you guys up there.
Oh,
we should know all these games that have snow and ice, right?
Right. But one of my greatest games of all time for the PS2 area was SSX, man, from EA. That's a classic. Not Tricky, the original SSX.
You bet.
Wow.
There's lots of movie studios up here too that make some great movies out of Canada. So
come on, EA, remaster SSX 1, 2, and 3. That's all you got to do. And give it online. You make money.
Absolutely. Yeah. But anyway, so that's awesome, guys. So there's some great studios on there. Big shout out to a lot of the Ubisoft studios have been putting out a lot of work over the last couple of years. And some games have been great, some games have been not so great. I think a lot of it, a lot of their games are big hits, especially during the 360 and to some degree the Xbox One era. But that was a different time when companies were more focused on making a great game as opposed to making a half-ass game and seeing how they can make it back on microtransactions. Our industry's in a weird spot right now, and if they don't pivot sooner than later, we're going to see a lot more companies fall by the wayside, realizing that not every company is going to be able to put out a free-to-play model, or they're going to be able to put out a game like Fortnite and make a ton of bank on overpriced, characters and all that shit. It's an anomaly. A few can do it well. Most will fail at it. That's a thing they have to know right now. So, I think if you're going to try that model, I think the only way you can do it, it's got to be a game that has a quick turnaround, a quick development cycle, and you can't invest a ton into it. You invest the money into it after it's successful. You don't put $700 million into the game and then fucking be like, yeah, if this game isn't successful, our developer's in the shitter. Right?
Yep.
So, yeah, you're better off fucking doing a small demo and testing it out and getting people in before you decide to make the whole fucking thing at this rate. So, yeah. Yeah, like I'm with Dizzy Delta, dude. Unfortunately, EA has gone to shit largely, in my personal opinion, because of lack of fucking competition. They've gone back to taking the easy route again. They're not innovating in their sports titles anymore, and they don't need to because people buy them year in, year out. No, I got guys here in my fucking community. They buy every single sports game every single year.
Wow.
And I want to bang my head against the wall every time I try to convince them to buy a really cool game for their Xbox or Nintendo or PlayStation. I'm like, yeah, no. And you're like, oh, you got that new NBA though, right? Oh, yeah. God damn. Didn't you just buy the last 20 versions of the same fucking game? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and then 6 months later, the game is like $10. It's like, dude,
And then
It makes zero
like a slap
sense.
in the face. It's like, you want the kick in the balls now, or would you like it in 6 months? I'll take
Come on,
both.
guys. How many times did people buy keep buying copies of Grand Theft Auto 5? Come on.
No, I agree with that too. That's
that too.
I'm right there
The
with
same game.
That true. We're all I guess guilty of it in one way or another,
I'm not.
right? But sports games are such a cop out in my opinion. Like sports games really are the most copy and pasted kind of fucking format because they don't really change. The sport doesn't change. You switch a couple game modes, add a fucking new roster, and you call it a new game, and it's not. I wouldn't be so mad about it if they didn't charge the full fucking price. That's the problem. If they charge like $30-$40 every year, it'd be like, okay, it's a little more tolerable. Why are you charging the same cost for that sports game that you know damn well they didn't spend $500 million to go build the next copy of Madden, right?
Right.
They get the minimal investment time, the minimal development time, and they charge you the full price. And people
because they can get away with it.
I've always said this for the past 10 to maybe 13 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Give like a $40 or $50 the next game for a pure roster update. When you come up with a new innovation for the game, then you set that one at full price. But if the game is probably going to be pretty much the same every year for the next 4 to 5 years, just pay for a roster update. That's all you got to do, and you'll still make money.
Remember the PS2 and the Xbox One era, or sorry, the PS2 and the Xbox era when everybody was making sports games and they were all so different. Some were amazing, some were shits, but everybody was making one, and there was competition and there was innovation because people were like, well, they got this mode in this game, so we're going to have this mode in our game, or we're going to have these all-star skills, and we're going to have all these cool things. And you were kind of like torn between which one you were going to buy. Like, fuck, I wish we had that again.
Yeah.
Yep.
But we're never going to see that again because it costs a lot of money for these guys to pony up on those fucking licenses. That's why.
Competition brings innovation.
Xbox had NFL Fever. I thought that was a better game when the original Xbox came out. I was like, that's the better football game right there.
Yeah, the Xbox sports games are pretty good. That golf game is fucking legit,
but nothing beat 2K5.
2K5, that was it, man.
2K5, and it was only $20.
Yep.
That whole season of 2K5 killed it. NFL 2K5, NBA 2K5, NHL 2K5. They were all fucking amazing.
We had cheerleaders. I could create my own play to play online with friends. It killed it.
People, 2K5, there's a community out there of homebrew. These guys,
I knew he was going to do that.
They upgrade NFL 2K5 every year, and they even make like a generic cover for it for you to print out.
Mm-hmm.
And they update the rosters and everything. It's crazy. And they're still playing that game online on the original Xbox.
Oh, yeah. I believe it.
It's crazy. But it's such a good game.
Yeah. Cool. Anyway, we're kind of off topic and something else altogether, but we will segue into
it happens.
Price things.
Yep.
Let's segue into Nintendo. if you guys haven't seen the latest news, and I'm assuming this is going to go in the States as well, but it looks like they're creating a price hike for the Nintendo Switch Online. And we've also been told, I don't know south of the border, but I know the original Switch apparently now is going to go up in price, which makes absolutely no sense, tariffs or no tariffs or anything else, because the Switch is fucking like ancient console. They should be almost giving these things away at this point. You're basically totally killing the resale value of them. I don't know if this is a ploy to make people move over and buy Switch 2s, if they make the original look a little less like attractive potentially, or what the deal is. Because Nintendo's one of the few, we've known this for a while, they are actually making some money on their consoles. And they're actually making a lot of money on most of their products. So, yeah, like I told Doggy Dog, and he's like, nobody's talking about this. Well, I said, I'm going to talk about it tonight, and I'm putting Nintendo on fucking blast. We've already known they're overcharging for the Switch 2. There's not a person on this panel, I don't think, is going to tell you that it's not overpriced. Whether the fact we own one or not, yes, a lot of us here own one. Frank's got one, I got one, Perry's got one. But all of us agree it's over fucking price for what it does. But if you want one, I guess that's the only way you're going to get one. Or you don't. And a lot of people are still waiting. That's fine. But do you think they're going to go down anytime soon? Well, don't count your lucky fucking stars, because the Nintendo Switch didn't. And now it's proof that they're actually going to go up. So there you go. So don't count your lucky stars. How do you guys feel about this? Because I think it's absolutely just robbery at this point. It's just another greedy company getting greedier again. And then on top of it, adding another, I think it's $5 increase to the online, even though their online basically gives you diddly fucking squat. What do you guys think?
I think, like you said, when you talked about it, when you opened it, I think they want people to move over to Switch 2 because they have partnerships with Samsung and SanDisk for the SD cards. That makes Nintendo as a company more money. So if they can make it more enticing, this is what you do in retail and marketing and sales. And I say that, Xbox, you listening? Anyway.
No, they're not. They don't care anymore. Like, fuck you, you old fucker.
It's a mind fuck, like what they do with Game Pass. You know what I mean? Oh, do you want core, or for an extra $2, do you want the next one? You know what I mean? It's like, well, for an extra $2, I'm going to get the better one, right? Well, that's what they're doing here. They're going to jack up the price a little bit and push you more towards the Switch 2. Like, oh, I can pay an extra $40, $50 here, or I could put that towards Switch 2. Because then when they move more Switch 2s, they sell more SD cards. There's more partnerships with that's more the deal with their partners and all that stuff. So there you go. I mean, it's all about money.
It's all about money on all three of them, man. Nintendo, Sony, and Xbox, all greedy as fuck right now.
The quicker they push you off Switch 1, they can sunset that hardware and then just continue forward with Switch 2.
It's like streaming services, man. It's like, do you want commercials?
Yeah.
Or no commercials? Pay a little extra. Well, a lot extra nowadays. And then you won't have no commercials.
And they still give you
exactly. Yeah, it's
the way they
gave you
right?
commercials at the beginning, right? Yeah.
The way they kind of, a lot of these guys snuck it in on us too. Like, it wasn't like just really apparent. It kind of just like came out of nowhere. Like, Amazon was really creepy about it, because Amazon would charge, up here in Canada, it was like $10. And that included Amazon Prime, and you got all your packages delivered in like 2-day delivery, right? And then it was just out of the blue, like, we're going to keep it $9.99. And you're like, cool. But we're going to add ads to that now. And you're like, fuck. So if you want to get rid of the ads, you'll pay us $3. Yeah, $3 I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but I'm like, it's not the lot. Sometimes it's not about the money.
It's $36 extra dollars a year.
Yeah, it's the principle of it, though, right? It's not always about the money. It's the fucking principle. It's the way that these seedy fuckers do it to you. And it's you know, Netflix, I give them some credit because they grandfathered in my original price for I don't know how many years, but everybody paid more than me because they grandfathered the original adopters, because I was an early adopter of it, so that was great. But then, like, for me, I got tired of Netflix when I noticed that content kept disappearing, and then all of a sudden the price kept going up, and it was a steady fucking belt. It was like 6 months, here's a price change. 6 months, a price change. Like, we've seen more price changes in the last 2 years on our products than I bet you we did in the last 10 years combined.
Yeah.
I shit you not.
True.
Oh, dude, Peacock got me this week. So Peacock used to be free when it first started. So I was grandfathered into that. You know, I had commercials, but I was grandfathered into that. Last week, I guess they killed that because I didn't get no notification. $79.99 was taken out my account. What the hell is that for?
So I went and looked at it. It's the same thing. But now I pay $79 a year. If you don't want commercials, it's $150. What the fuck?
Bro, what
So
kind of
I cancel my Peacock.
The funny thing is,
once they got the money, you can't get it back.
Yeah, all the streaming companies convinced us to go to their services because they didn't want to be cable TV, and they've turned into fucking cable TV because we got to watch commercials again.
And they cost more than having cable now.
Yep.
And you're like, okay, it's okay if I got one service, but the fact that you're paying for like, I don't know how many services everybody on this panel paying for on average, like 4, 5, 6?
No, I'm not.
How many subscriptions you got?
You know what I did? And my wife agreed to this, okay? Mm-hmm. I put home theaters in almost every room in the house. We just invested in buying the parts and everything. And I ripped my entire TV on DVD. I ripped all my Blu-rays, all my DVDs, okay? Mm-hmm. And they're on 18 terabyte hard drives. There's, I think, 2 18 terabytes in each computer. And, dude, we got everything there. If we ever want to watch anything, it's there.
Nice.
Now, when I bought a PlayStation last year, it came with a free year of Netflix Premium or whatever. So that was a no-brainer. So I bought the machine and I got $300 worth of Netflix for free. So I did that. And now we got rid of YouTube TV because we had that as cable or whatever. But that
I got rid of that too.
Yeah.
It went from $35 to $85. I'm like, I'm out of here, man. Fuck
35 to 85. See, like to me, that's not just an increase. That's like an increase with a slap upside the jaw.
Right. Yep. So, Netflix, it just ran out like last month. So she watches a bunch of the documentaries on there, and I'm like, you know what? For $25, it's better than $85. So just stick with that for now. But that's
that doesn't surprise me.
Like $10 a month. So whatever. I mean, that's it. I just have 2 services. But besides that, I don't really need any of them.
I'm right there. Huh?
No, go ahead.
Good.
I was going to say I'm right there with Perry. I didn't go all out and ripping stuff to hard drives throughout the house, but literally, it's funny that X-Man mentioned Peacock because I pay for Peacock the $79 or the $7.99 a month, but that's because for the WWE network. Yep. But other than that, I've got all Fire Sticks side loaded with free stuff, and then of course with all the free apps they got now, like shit like Freevee and Tubi and whatnot. I don't bother with none of that shit no more.
Tubi better not decide to charge you. I'll be pissed off.
And they haven't yet. But yeah, like outside of the game services, because it was funny because the wife and I were literally just having this conversation. Because I'm only paying the console tier on Game Pass, so I'm only paying $10 a month on that. I have the PS Plus Essential, so that's like $80 a year. So that's what I pay for. But yeah, all this other shit that you're paying so much fucking money for, because I saw it, it was just like I had a bunch of these subscription services. And I'm like, fuck, man, this is just like killing me here. Just nuke all of it, because there's always a way I can find that shit free now, and there's that. I mean, and then like YouTube, I just have a regular YouTube app running through everything, and it's just like everything's getting ads now anyway. Right, so it's just like
the only one I don't want commercials for is YouTube. I will pay for that forever.
I'll
hate
give you guys a hint.
Commercials.
Yeah.
Download the Brave app on your phone. Brave is a web browser. It kills all the ads on YouTube.
Nice.
And you can turn your screen off.
Perry's on top of this shit, man. I like
and
it.
you can download on a computer too.
Just saying.
Yeah, I mean, there's ways around things to make stuff affordable. I get that. There's plans. Sometimes your local internet providers will have plans where you can get bundle deals and stuff. So it's not the end of the world in most cases, but it does get expensive. I mean, I talked to a guy in the U.S., I think it was like a year or two ago, and he's like, yeah, dude, I got Netflix, and I got Hulu, and I got Pluto, and I got WWE Network, and I don't know, he must have had 7 or 8 of these things going. And then, like, when he told me the price, I'm like, ugh! I was like, Jesus. Like, that's crazy. But you know what? It's not just the entertainment companies. I mean, look, like, I don't know you guys in the States, but our power bills up here, electricity companies gouge shit out of us. Like,
everybody's went up. It's ridiculous.
Dude, it's brutal.
Yeah.
And the worst part, like, I'll use like a certain amount of kilowatts, And the charge for the actual like power use is like fucking $40, but then all the service and admin charges is like fucking like 3 times as much.
They call it a delivery fee.
A delivery fee.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can deliver this to all them pricks right there, huh? But so you can pay for some little chick to sit on her phone all fucking day and go, "Oh, connect. Okay. I'll send you to this guy, the specialty department. Press 1. Oh, you get to the specialty department. I'll send you to specialty 2 department. Press 2.
You know what? You'd be cheaper having some satellite dishes. Not satellite, but what do you call them? Solar panels and a generator.
Dude, I'm about ready to be like the future in Terminator. You know, when the kid's sitting there watching the TV set and it's broken up, the TV is broken and it's just a fire in the back.
Yeah,
that's what I'm gonna be here. Yeah, just like the fucking Terminator, watching a fire inside of an old TV set.
It's like, oh,
that's
the
your
fire's looking
entertainment.
good tonight.
Huh?
They'd be like, "What's that?"
All those people fucking for a living. There you go. Right? There you go.
Yeah, they'd be like, "What's that you playing?" An Atari 2600. What the hell is that?
Oh man, yeah. There, you know, and there's lots of ways, and I don't want to be on this channel like promoting any of the illegal stuff because that can always get fucking iffy too. But there's ways around things. The point of the matter is, shit's getting really expensive, and we've seen the trend. It's not even like they give you a time to adjust to it. It's like you just started going, okay, I just paid another $5, and then you go, yeah, another $5. And it's like they keep waiting for the next dipshit to go, yeah, we need some more money. We got a big user base now. It's a good time to buy in. And then it's like, yep, here we go. The rest of them, it just starts the fucking ping pong balls rolling, right? They just wait for one. They wait for one guy to be the bad guy, and then they're like, well, we won't look like the bad guys now because we were the first guys to raise the price. No, you're all fucking assholes.
Oh, that's true.
And then you tell us about your fucking CEO. We set record profits in 2022. We set record profits, and our CEO just walked away with a $10.5 million bonus. And you're like,
let's lay everybody off tomorrow. Oops.
Yeah, let's lay off half the fucking company where we're at. Like, you fucking munchers.
Here's the big thing. They always say we want people to buy our games. Well, then we'll go down to your lowest tier. No. We want everybody on the highest tier. No, but you want to sell the games. No, we need you on the highest tier. It's a double-edged sword.
I said, all these expensive games and stuff's going up should personally play into Game Pass, right? I'm thinking it should, but here's the only way it wins for Game Pass is that Microsoft's not stupid enough to make Game Pass extremely expensive. Because I guarantee you, they got a price raise in the works for that fucking shit. And they can't, like, that's the selling point of Game Pass is to give you the games at a decent price. But if they're going to raise it like everything else, Game Pass will eventually lose value. I don't care who you are. It's going to be more and more expensive. Like, there got to be a breaking point. But yeah, I know there's guys out there. You're going to pay $50 a month for it if they charge it. There's guys that can still justifying that.
I won't. I'll go down to the basic.
They'll justify $80 a minute for Game Pass. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
that's the point. That's where you got to stop. You got to look at the company and say, no, here's my finger. You know where to put it. Take your Game Pass and fucking stick it up your asshole. Right? Because until the consumer ultimately puts their foot down, and this goes with any product or any company, this shit will continue to fucking go. And we'll do podcast after podcast complaining about the price raises. They hear us bitching about it, but they don't give 2 fucks. They don't care if you lost your fucking home tomorrow.
Until that money flow starts coming in, they'll be like, what's going on? I'm so waiting for that day. I'm so waiting.
They sure as hell want you spending that $80 or $90 go buy your kid that fucking game to go play. And you're like, yeah, well, now I can't even buy groceries to go send my kid to the fucking school for the week.
Well, here's what they'll do. They'll just raise the price of games and then raise Game Pass and be like, well, which one's better?
They're doing that anyway.
$100 for a game or $80
what
a
is
month?
that? I smell Canadian fucking bacon. What the hell?
Oh, man,
bacon.
there he is.
Oh.
I'm going to go.
I thought he was on Canadian internet there for a second. He's probably in that dial-up. The man, the myth, the legend.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Hey.
Hello.
What's up, brother?
What's going on, everybody? How's it going?
What's going on?
We were talking
Oh,
about
God, we got trouble.
You to go bald already, so there you go.
We got
No hat tonight,
trouble.
folks. Yeah, of course you got trouble, Sir X-Man. You got me here.
I know, right? What's up, buddy? How you been, my friend?
Oh, dude, I've been busy. as hell, man. Personal stuff, like all that stuff going on.
It's
and
life.
then,
It's
yeah,
life.
where'd the bald fuck come from? Thank you, Dizzy Delta. And then, I'm working on the new stuff with the channel. I got some member stuff going on. I'm actually working on a video right now, which I'm going to drop tomorrow morning. And then, all kinds of stuff going on, man. But busy. Canada Day, my ass. I didn't get to do anything today except for work. And then do all kinds of other family stuff, and then not family stuff like my kids had soccer and shit like that, and then came home and had to start working on videos and stuff for my members. And man, all of a sudden, like 14 hours disappears, and that's the whole day. You know what I mean?
Wait a minute.
I gotta send out some Canadian invites, and I'm like, well, I gotta send them to the man. Whether he makes it or not, I'm glad he has it.
I didn't know they play soccer in Canada. I thought it was only hockey.
Yeah, I know, I know. But once in a while, there's no snow, so like we actually get on the grass.
Well, once in a great while, right?
Yeah. Although it's been really hot up here. Holy shit.
Were you upset about the Oilers, buddy? Were you upset about the Oilers losing?
No.
Oh, damn.
I mean, listen, when you got Marchand on the other team, you know you're in trouble. And the guy, the thing is, they always say the same thing about that guy. They always say you hate him until he's on your team. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
I feel bad for Newf. But
he was another one of them players that wasn't good in crunch time.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Here's the other thing. I'm a Buffalo Bills fan. So Newf has got 2 more championships to lose before he can match me. Okay, because I had to deal with 4 Super Bowl losses in a row, and then of course with the Chiefs cheating, doing what they do, and the refs cheating, doing what they do, and so we keep getting denied a Super Bowl, but not this year, baby, not this year.
At least you got to get over the Leafs loss early, where the fucking Oilers take us to the fucking pinnacle and then shit the bed at the last.
I know. At least we lose nice and quick. The way
Dude,
it's supposed
I'm a
to be
Bears fan. I haven't been able to celebrate since 1985. Come on.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
Tell me
You
about
got
it.
the best player in the world, Connor McDavid, who plays like Connor McDavid for 3 rounds and turns into Connor fucking McNugget at the last round. Right?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yep. But either way, what are you guys talking about? What's going on?
We're just talking about like game price, talking about Nintendo in particular now, the latest to raise prices on, of course, their service, and apparently even the old ass Switch is going to go up in price. Like, who the fuck wants the old ass Switch for even more money?
Yeah, you missed a good conversation earlier, my friend. You missed a good conversation earlier, man.
Well, here's the thing. I'm actually, funny enough, when I came on here, I said I'm working on a video. It is actually about Nintendo. So what a time to step into that conversation.
The precursor.
Yep.
Yeah. So let me.
Wow, it's like you had that psychic link or something.
Well, I got a theory. I have a theory, and I know what's going on. Yes. What's up, Pink Pickles? Here's the thing. Here's my thought. Nintendo is raising the prices in Canada specifically for now, and it's going to happen elsewhere on the Nintendo Switch 1. You know why? Because the Nintendo Switch 2 up here is not selling as well because they overpriced the fuck out of it. And as a result of that, people are not buying the Switch 2. They're like, oh, well, whatever, man. I'll just stick with the Switch 1. I'm basically getting the same games. It's a shit upgrade from Switch 1 to Switch 2. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. It's a garbage screen, one of the lowest quality screens that they said. Like even Digital Foundry said it. They said it's a pathetic upgrade of the actual display unit for the Switch 2. Right. So what's happening is, and now here's the thing. I did a litmus test of all the people in my neighborhood, for example, and this was just an idea to go around and ask everybody, because everybody in my neighborhood, all the parents with their kids, whatever, every single one of them has a Switch in their home. When I told them the price of the Switch 2, every single one, and I'm talking 100% of the people laughed in my face and said, there is no chance I'm buying a Switch 2 for that price for one game so far. I know there's other games coming out, obviously, but right now it's $800 with tax here in Ontario for the Switch 2 with one game, which would be Mario Kart World. So that being the case, people are balking. Nintendo sees this happening, right? And then they're like, well, let's start raising it up. And then did you see how sneaky those motherfuckers are, though? You see what they did? They said at the end of their little whatever blurb, they said specifically, the Switch 2 prices are currently unaffected. They did that for a reason. And they put that at the end of the sentence for a reason to get it into your head that you need to buy the Switch 2 because they're trying to choke people away basically trying to choke you out of the Switch 1, right?
Yeah.
And they want you over to the Switch 2, and that's why they keep putting that tag in there. There's all kinds of nefarious shit going on behind the scenes, I'll tell you this.
Hey, man, I can show you the backfire in that. Everybody that has a Switch 1, they have a Switch 1.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you jacking up the price is not going to matter. And then you be able to go get one used from a game store for the people that traded in their Switch 1s.
Speaking of Perry, did you ever get to sell the ones you put up, or are you still sitting on those?
You're muted.
You're muted, bro.
You're muted.
Harry is muted.
There we go.
There you go.
You're doing a Proto Foxy, man.
I sold the Splatoon Switch because that was brand new in the box. I got rid of that one, but I still have the other 3. Yeah, trying to unload them and get rid of them.
You know, the other thing is too, I mean, at the end of the day, worst comes to worst, Facebook Marketplace always works out, because if you don't get the trade-in you want, like from let's say a GameStop or whatever, soon to be EB Games again, by the way, Newf. Did you hear about that shit?
Yes, sir.
Really?
Yeah, they're going back to EB Games here in Canada. GameStop is moving out, and it's going back to EB Games. But anyways,
You can change the name, but you can't change.
That's all right. You might as well just call it EB Lames, because all they got in there now is pop figures anyway.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, they're just Funko Pops and
Funko
t-shirts.
Pops and Star Wars crap.
That don't
remember when it was called Funko Land back in the day?
Yeah, I remember. Funko Land,
Yonkers, New York.
Yeah, that's right. There was the big one in New York. That's right.
Well, we had one in Chicago too. Yeah.
Oh yeah, nice.
I still have a couple of Nintendo cartridges with dust sleeves from Funko Land.
Damn.
Somebody traded those in.
Well, either way, if you're not getting the trade in, go to Facebook Marketplace. You could still get at least on the Canadian price, you could still get like $300 for a Switch, right? So you start thinking about that. Sure, you may get clobbered over the head in the parking lot of a coffee shop or whatever. But you know what I do when it comes to hardware, and I ended up selling one of my Series X's. I kept one and I got rid of another one, and I said, listen, or I put it right in the ad. I'm like, no bullshit, no fucking lowballing. This is the price. It came with 4 controllers. And you're meeting me at the fucking police station. Period. No ifs, ands, or buts. And you know what the cops did? This is really smart in my town. In my town, they have 2 parking spots right in front of the door, designated for off-market trading.
Yeah, they do that up there. They do that at a lot of cop stations.
Walk around and find out if you're gonna try and try to bum rush me for my Series X in the parking lot somewhere or whatever, right? You're not gonna do it. Especially not in front of a police station. Actually, I beg that people do it, because there's nothing funnier than watching people getting tased. But either way,
real quick, in Memphis, they don't care if you are in a cop station. They're going to jack you in Memphis, Tennessee.
Yeah. Fair enough. Memphis is an open carry state, though, isn't it? I mean, well, because it's Tennessee.
Carry state. Yeah.
I'd be sitting with my 12 gauge on my shoulder. We'd be like, "Hi, we're here to trade." You want to trade units or you want to trade bullets? Which one?
And I was in Memphis, right? And there were people coming in the restaurants with their pistols on the side. There is no concealed carry. You can carry whatever.
Oh man, it was wild when I was through Memphis too. Yeah, it was wild to see. And I was just doing a short tour, and it was just like, oh, fuck. Okay. Yeah. I'm not used to seeing this shit. I'm just a little Chicago boy. Well, not a little Chicago boy, but I'm just a Chicago boy. I'm like, this is kind of,
Dude, I saw people walking around with M16s on their back. That's how
I didn't
Well, you can find that in Chicago too, but it's usually Saturday night after 10 p.m.
This is true. This is very true. There's certain neighborhoods you keep your windows up and doors locked in, and especially when I'd be coming back from shows and shit, you just hear the power locks go. It's like, don't put the fucking window down. You can smoke after we get through this neighborhood.
Yeah. There's certain neighborhoods you don't go through at certain times, especially on Fridays and Saturdays.
Right.
Yep.
Let me tell you, I got a funny story for you guys. When I was in Detroit to go see Metallica, because Metallica at that time wasn't coming to Toronto, so I'm like, all right, fuck it. I've never seen them before, and I'm like, it's a bucket list item. We're going.
When did you go?
Ford Field.
What year?
Oh, like last year, like literally like 8 months ago. or whatever.
Oh,
right?
okay. Yeah, I saw
So-
about 3 years ago. So I know. Did they do the Moth and the Flame thing where they had the flying white lights everywhere and stuff?
This concert was different. It was like called the M72 concert or something. So they had like all these pillars with fire and stuff. It was awesome.
Yep, yeah.
But
Oh yeah, I've seen them
either
do
way,
that before.
so when the concert finished, I'm jacked, right? I'm ready to go. I had like 3 or 4 like those giant beers. I'm ready to party now. It's Saturday night. Let's go. So, anyways, there was a shuttle bus from our hotel, which is only 5 minutes away, and it was right by the tunnel, like the Detroit Windsor Tunnel, and it was right there. It was a Holiday Inn, and everybody in the hotel was there for the concert, right? And so there's a bunch of Canadians there and everything else. And so we get on the bus, right? It's Saturday night. It's like not even 11. It's like, I don't know, 10:45, whatever it is. And I'm like, let's go. I'm like, ready. Let's party, man. I'm like, where are we going, man? Where are we going to go? And there was an old black dude driving the bus, and he shuts the door when we got in, and he goes, turns around, and he goes, y'all in Detroit. He goes, I'm taking you back to the hotel, or I'm going to be scooping your bodies off the floor. And he goes, so sit down, and I'm taking you back to the hotel. And we all sat down like little children that just got scolded, and we're like, yes, sir. And we sat down, and then we're whispering, and you hear everybody on the bus going, how fucking dangerous is this place? Like, the dude wouldn't even let us go to a bar. He wouldn't even let us go to a bar after, like right outside Ford Field. And he's like, get on the bus, and shut the door on us. And that was it. And he took.
You think you had it bad? I went to Little Rock for the Metallica concert.
Like Arkansas?
Little Rock, Arkansas.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
There were
Been through that
areas
armpit,
where they
too.
like, when you get out the concert, go straight to the freeway. Don't lag around, because it was a Saturday night.
Yeah.
Go to the freeway.
I was
in
excited.
Arkansas.
It was Saturday night. There was bars going on. And then the guy's like, get on the bus. And we're like, yes, sir. And that was it. So end of the show. Anyways,
it was the
Nintendo.
old black man too. You knew he knew.
So I got one more little tidbit of information about Nintendo, and this is something else I'm going to be talking about in my video. There's something nefarious going on behind the scenes with this company right now. So what's happening is you're about to talk about this raising of the prices here in Canada and other regions, and it's going to continue to happen as they continue to choke people out from the Switch 1 to get them into the Switch 2. Then there were a couple of outlets that released some numbers saying, behind the scenes looks like they sold 5 million units in 26 days. It was faster than the PS4, faster than the PS5, faster than the Switch 1, this and that, blah, 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 blah. And then that number disappeared. And then there was an issue with Amazon and Nintendo, and they were talking about it, and all of a sudden their numbers disappeared. And then it turns out someone else had reached out and said, actually, that is a projection, not an actual number of what they think they're going to sell moving forward. In this month. So basically, and you know what tipped me off that they're completely full of shit? It's a metric that companies use when they're not doing well. And the metric is this. It is the fastest selling console in history, but then they're like, and then they say this number, right? And you're like, okay. But if you take the 10% of hardcore out there, like let's say you have your 10% hardcore of Xbox fans, of PlayStation fans, of Nintendo fans, they're the ones who are buying day one. Those are the pre-orders, whatever else. It is not the fastest selling. It was just the pre-orders of the hardcore buying it. The real number, and this is what I talked about, and I said the real numbers you're going to find out about a month or two after the initial, when all those pre-sales come in. When you see the actual numbers start coming in, and if they're starting being stagnant, that's when they're going to start launching projections. And what do they do right now? Now they're talking projections, because I'm telling you right now, it may be successful, it may be doing well, because like I said, they just launched. The proof in the pudding to see is if this thing has legs. As it stands right now, with no software backing it besides Mario Kart World, which I heard isn't even that good. They got this Donkey Kong Bonanza, whatever you want to call it, is coming out. Not much interest in that either, right? You don't have big ticket items like that, and I'm not coming out for at least possibly another year or so. And the price point that you have this thing at, especially outside of the United States, this thing is not going to sell as well as people think. It's not going to be a Wii U. It's still going to be very successful. But I'm telling you right now, they're doing some weird shit behind the scenes. And all this number stuff sounds like a company that's kind of panicking a little bit. And that's what I'm digging into right now. And that's what I'm doing my new video on.
So what do they do with the old Switches? I mean, obviously, I guess at some point it must be up to a lot of the retailers if they want to discount them or try to clear space. I mean, they obviously want to make more space in cabinets for Switch 2s. it's going to be a lot tougher to sell the old units if Nintendo's going to put the price on. I mean, I don't know how it goes with video game systems. I'm not in that retail part, but I am in the sports industry market. And I can tell you, when the hockey stick has been out for a while, or the piece of equipment's been out for a while, you have a certain thing. The product has to stay on what they call a map policy, and that can range anywhere from a year to a year and a half. Once it goes off the map, then it's up to every retailer's discretion as to how much of a discount they want to put on that product to get rid of it. Because essentially at that point in time, it's yours to do as you please. It's kind of not in the advertisement circle anymore. I guess it's different with console because the console has a lifeline of 5 and 6 years effectively, right? And so it's not like something that comes out and it's already dated after 1 year. So I guess the market's a shade different, but that's what I'm saying. It's like, that my side of this stuff is on a map policy. I don't know how they work it with games, but you see with the games though, games get reduced all the time. The consoles are the one thing that rarely see the decreases, at least in this generation, where it's the anomaly, where every shit started to go the fuck up for some weird reason. And the easy excuse is always tariffs, but I'm not really buying tariffs as the reason that all this shit's going on.
They're full of shit. You hear how they say things like, quote, market conditions. What are they? Can you explain to me what the market conditions are?
Oh, because people don't end up buying as much now because we're not all stuck in the house with our fucking noses running and coughing along because people aren't sick with COVID.
Yeah. Now, here's the other thing. Look at this. So now I just pulled up two things right now that it says Nintendo. This is my Nintendo news. Okay. I don't even know who these guys are. Nintendo has now sold over 5 million Nintendo Switch 2 consoles worldwide. 2 hours later, Game Rant reports Nintendo deletes Switch 2 sales figures. Okay. Then it says here, Amazon, and then another article from Bloomberg. Amazon misses out on Switch 2 sales after Nintendo pulls products from U.S. site. And then another one, Nintendo stock dips despite huge Switch 2 sales update. But then an hour later, Nintendo Switch 2 sales reach another breaking a milestone. And then all of a sudden, an hour after that, Nintendo and Amazon deny reports of sales dispute over the Nintendo Switch 2. And then the last one is Switch 2's leaked 5 million sales figures may be a forecast, not actual sales. So there is something happening behind the scenes here that doesn't make any sense. And then on top of that, they're talking about how Nintendo's denying that they pulled their products from Amazon amidst a spat of third-party sales going on. And there's all kinds of weird shit going on with this company right now, and none of it is making any sense to me. So it would nice to me. Yeah,
I understand it. You want to know why? Because for that price that they're charging, a lot of people are broke right now. They don't have that kind of money you're asking.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's happening. And a lot of these companies do not want to understand that situation that's happening right now with financials of people. You see people getting poorer and poorer, broker and broker. And it's pretty much your casuals and your regular gamers, you're squeezing them out by doing stuff like that. So eventually, and I've said eventually it's going to hit that point where these game makers and these new console makers are going to like, why aren't nobody buying our things? It's not that we don't like your things. It's just you're pricing them out so far because of inflation, tariffs, whatever you want to call it. We can't afford it. We got to put food and stuff on the table.
That's right. It's like an expensive hooker. You like to have the full meal deal, but sometimes you can only go for the head job. You know what I mean?
And you notice right now, man, seriously, how it's actually coming back to bite them because they don't see it. All they thinking is profit.
Or in Mag's case, gets solicited for a case of beer at the Holiday Inn parking lot.
Yeah, no kidding, eh? Beers and blowjobs.
I still remember that the first time I met Maggie. He's going to the fucking hotel, and that's the story. He's like, yeah, I just got fucking approached by some old fucking skank in the Holiday Inn parking lot trying to give him some head for a case of beer.
Mag will be like,
hardest thing ever. Blowjobs for beer.
Mag,
amazing.
Get me that Jack Daniels over here. All right, let's just meet up at the police station, and then you give it to me, and then we go.
Oh, here we go. Look at this one. Now that they're denying this, they're saying that the Switch 2 on Amazon, at one point they're saying Nintendo was pulling their products off of Amazon because they didn't want third party sellers to sell the products on Amazon. So, but now Now Nintendo's denying that even happened. But I mean, if it keeps going on, and like every single like all these news outlets are all reporting the same thing, and Nintendo's denying it, but everybody else is saying it, I'm starting to believe everybody else over Nintendo. And on top of it, you're right, Sir X Man. They're pricing people out of this console. They're pricing people out of the software, whatever software they have, which is one fucking game. But on top of that, if you were to buy the game separately here in Canada, at least in Ontario, Newf, I know he has different taxes than we do, but here it's $128.50 with tax for one game.
Whoa, Jesus Christ!
That's with tax. Okay, before everybody goes nuts. That's with tax.
He's not
it's 100
kidding,
and whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
Like it's completely insane. Whatever the hell that they're doing, whatever's going on, it don't smell right. Okay? There's something off about this situation.
At least somebody understood where I was coming from. Thank you, Mag.
I don't know what's happening, and like I said, but I'm just bringing it to everybody's attention that something funky is going on here.
Mag, I don't know if you checked out I don't know if you've been checking out your local marketplace in your neck of the woods too, but out here I've been checking out the local Facebook marketplace, and we got resellers selling the Switch 2 for less than the retail cost already because they can't get rid of them.
The scalpers are at it again. It's the scalpers.
Yeah, but the scalpers are actually having to sell them less than they paid for them.
But they're losing money, X-Man.
Well, that's because also I'm hearing, y'all have heard it in the air.
Because why buy one from a scalper at full price and not even fucking know if it's legit or not damaged when you walk into the store?
There's a rumor about Switch problems right now. So a lot of people aren't adopting it as early as they would normally do.
You know what? Newf is
and
not
that
wrong.
Could hurt it.
I'm literally looking. They're selling it on Facebook Marketplace. The average price is $100 under the retail price.
Oh wow!
They're
selling
somebody got a shipment of them. That's what happened. Somebody jacked the truck, man,
and they can't offload them because nobody fucking wants them.
For a couple months, so they thought they'd get lucky with the few that they bought.
Yep.
Right?
Like I'm just looking at a whole bunch of them right here. 725, 710. And like I said, don't forget, guys, it was $800 with tax here. It was $796 to be
exact,
right?
For you guys, Jesus.
$796. That's with the tax here in Ontario. So now these guys are selling it, and obviously you don't pay tax on Facebook Marketplace, just cash. So it's $725 cash, $710 cash, $700 cash. I'm literally looking at them all right now. And the thing is, they originally had them for $775, $800, and then you know how they like scratch the line through it, and then it has the new price. So they're scratching the line through it, and they're putting it for $100 less. There's some bozos here selling it for $950, but they're not going to get any of that. So yeah, these other guys are selling it for $100. There we go, Switch 2 console with Mario Kart World, $700. So these guys are selling. They're trying to dump it.
Yeah, they're trying to dump it. You know how that works. When new things come out, like consoles and stuff like that, some people just secretly get truckloads or boxes of those things.
Yeah.
Through a backdoor, service. Don't go there, Newf.
I wonder if some of those guys that stole that big shipment, the guys that broke into the big truck up here. Mag, you heard about that story, right? They stole $1.4 million worth of Switch consoles.
Good.
Out of one of the Amazon trucks or something up here.
Good. They deserve it.
And it happened.
I'm glad they did it. I wish I was involved.
That happens a lot with new consoles. It happened with the PS4. It happened with the PS5. It happened with the Xbox. The Xbox One X. It just happens like that. And they're gonna say, "I'm gonna go for the price. I don't care about the damn warranty. I just wanted it at a lower price."
Yeah. No, people are selling OLEDs for $350 here as well. So, like, I still have a Switch OLED in my house. But the thing is, this is the other thing. My kids would play it. Like, let's just say, for instance, I bought a Switch 2, okay? They would play it religiously for about 3 weeks. And then they would never touch the fucking thing again. Because we got a Switch OLED in the basement right now. As a family, we played that Mario game, the last Mario game, whatever the hell it was called. The one where you could play 4 players. We played that one. And that was sort of fun, a little irritating, but fun. But either way, it just sits there. It just sits in the basement doing nothing. So they would get, and you know what they're going to do? They're going to go right back to their PlayStations and then go back and start playing. Oh, nice. There it is. They'll go right back to playing their Fortnites, their Roblox, everything else on their PS5s. and they're never going to touch the fucking thing. So it's going to be an $800 paperweight in my basement. And for what? I could play Mario Kart for now, Donkey Kong for a bit, and then what? You're going to wait another year before, like, let's say a Mario comes out or something like of significance? Nothing. Like, it's just, I mean, I'm not a Metroid Prime fan, so it's not my jam. You know what I mean? But, like, when are these other games coming? So at that point, I'm sorry, man. It's just, I don't think it's, I said it from the beginning. I said it before it launched. I said the Switch 2 is not going to be as successful overall as the Switch 1. It won't. Especially, and now that they dropped all these prices and doing what they're doing and then raising the price of the software and everything else, it's not going to happen. Just saying it.
Let's just say they're pricing their own sales out of the market.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's all we can say.
Go ahead. They can't compete with the big guys anyway. Like that's, I mean, they can. I mean, it's Nintendo, but I mean, what I'm getting at, I'm talking about in terms of software. Yeah, there's like a Mario game here. There's a Mario Kart, whatever, and then eventually you're gonna have, you know, a Zelda game come out. Great, wonderful, right? But at the same time, I mean, are people gonna?
Hello.
Not if all your libraries are not there. No, but what I'm getting at is you will play that game, and you may want to play that game. But the thing is, are you going to invest all that money there when your library's not there? Right? Like if Newf hosts a community game night and everybody's playing on either Xbox or PlayStation when they got their Call of Duties there, they've got their Gears of Wars there, they've got their entire libraries of games, whether it's PlayStation or Xbox. You're gonna go spend $800 to play the one game once a year? Not a chance.
And crossplay too, yeah.
And then that's the other thing. Yeah, crossplay on everything, right? On all these
PC
games.
and Xbox, everywhere.
People got their libraries there. They're not going to dip over to Nintendo for that price. People would go over to Nintendo if you priced it appropriately, but they've priced themselves out of making that a subsidiary console, like something that you would have on the side. Like if that's a thing that I'm having on the side, I'm not paying $800 for something on the side. That would be my primary console. Like I spent $1,000 or $1,100 for my PS5 Pro. Okay, that I
damn.
Yeah, it's expensive, right? With
Canadian prices.
Canadian prices. Yeah. Sorry. So
that's
like
double.
Yeah, well, it's getting there. Yeah. But like our exchange rate is bad, whatever. But the thing is, like all my library is there and all my other libraries on Xbox. So why would you know what I mean? Why would I invest $800? I would save that $800 and save it for a next gen console. That's the way I look at it. And
that's what I'm doing.
I'm talking about either an Xbox or PlayStation or both.
Like I said, there's a couple of us on the panel that we all went out and got one. We have a reason for it. I'm never going to say it's right or wrong. It's your money. You do what you wish.
Of course.
Lots of people went out and bought the PlayStation 5 Pro on day one, and I've never invested in it, and I don't see the point in investing in it. I personally just have yet to see anything on the PS5 Pro that makes me go, man, I want to spend fucking $900 Canadian on another PlayStation console when I'm quite happy with the PS5, and I'm just going to save the $900 or whatever for PS6 when it comes out. I guess I could technically have said the same thing too when it comes to Nintendo, because honestly, I mean, Mario Kart World, it sells on its name alone, right? It's Mario Kart. You know you're going to get a good game, whether it's the best game in the franchise or not. You know you're going to get a hell of a good game, and I do think it is one of the best Mario Kart games that I've played in a long time. I kind of love how it works, and you know, and I love the fact now that you can play with your friends and you can bring up the camera and you can talk to each other now on the fucking screen finally. You don't have to jump into an Xbox Live party chat to actually talk to your friends, which is cool. And you can see their gameplay and you can see the reaction on their face. Just hope to God that nobody naked walks behind you or something like that on a green screen. We don't need to see Snuffleupagus wandering about, you know.
You say no more strip Uno?
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like I'm enjoying it, but I've said right at the top of the show, overpriced, 100%. We all agree it's overpriced, but they came out, they stuck with it, they're flexing that, and they're just seeing how it goes. And I'm sure they're doing well. I'm actually just happy, like I said, they actually managed to meet supply and demand for the most part, that there is some consoles to be bought, because it really sucked seeing what happened, said during the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series launch, where everybody snapped them up and the scalpers held us at fucking ransom basically for the best part of 2 years, unless you got lucky enough to get a launch console or whatever, right? But a lot of people weren't very lucky and they didn't get one for a long time. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, for me personally, the online price change, that doesn't make a lot of sense either, because what are they giving us for the extra money? Probably nothing. It's the same old, same old. And their online is not that good to begin with. So they're the last people that need to be raising prices on their online. They're not giving you a free game or nothing, or even that would be a nice little bonus for Nintendo users. Just give them a vintage game. They got enough collection to go back and give you something from the past, like a Nintendo Selects thing or something underneath the banner, right? Where you can pick a couple of games to play every month. You don't have to pay the extra fucking money because you're already paying it in the subscription. Something like that would be cool. They could literally do that. Here's a Nintendo Selects library that you get to play for that extra $5 a month. But of course, they're doing it now, but they want you to get that, the special plus tier, so that way you get the GameCube and the Game Boy Advance and all that shit. But why don't you just do a select, kind of like Xbox does with Game Pass Core, where they still give you 25 fucking games to pick from. You don't need to subscribe to the top tiers to get it. You do get a couple of games to dabble with, right? That would be even a start.
Yeah.
Especially with the cost of games being so fucking expensive now. At least some kid that buys a console on Christmas might have a handful of games to play instead of being stuck with just the one, because that's all the mom's going to be able to afford them. Can you imagine a lot of parents, they're fucking because a lot of parents haven't even stopped. We know this stuff, right? We all know this price scheme and everything. We're into this business. This is what we do as podcasters. But can you imagine a lot of parents who are just going to get wind of the Switch 2 come Christmas time and they walk in and see these sticker prices? They're going to be fucking floored.
I told you, I asked all the parents because we hang out and stuff like that, and I told them all the prices, and literally the sticker shock, it was all over their face. And they're just
Santa Claus is going to be shot this year.
They're like, what? They're like, no, no. They could buy a PS5 for $300 less. They could buy not Xbox anymore because now they raise their prices too. But but you could buy a base PS5 or a used Xbox for significantly less than that and have access to way more than what Nintendo offers. Right?
And you know what's funny? Now,
what are we talking about?
Now, PlayStation still wonder why more people ended up staying on the PS4 when you jacked up the price.
Oh, speaking of, you know what I'm saying? PlayStation Plus, my next subscription on PlayStation Plus Essential goes up from 99 to 110 Canadian now. So
are you serious?
Yep, $110 for the year.
Yeah,
and then Xbox is 100 and what's Xbox Live Core now? If you even buy the subscription card for the year, I think
$79.99 if you buy it for this.
No, not up here anymore. That was the old pricing. It's way more than that now.
Yep. So
for the yearly cost,
you manage to score one of the old cards, sure, but now I think the new card is $99 and guaranteed they jack theirs up too.
Listen, there's something. People, and then I actually said this in one of my videos about a week ago. People are going to start getting a lot more picky and choosy about what's going on, and
they wonder why they can't sell games, right?
Well, that's the thing. That your game has to be an absolute banger in order to make it anymore these days. Because what's happening is, yes, the game, it's not wrong. People are going to make those choices. And the thing is that people are going to be more cautious as consumers, and as a result of them being more cautious, what happens is people tend to it's human nature. They tend to stay in the lane that they're already in because they're afraid to switch lanes. Okay, and this is something I talked about with, for example, the future of where Xbox is going. Like Colt and I talked about it on Monday on XNC. And what we talked about, and I said, listen, when people get into a position where they're going to afford, where they can only afford one, and yes, Xbox has what they got going forward, and they're like, okay, well, they got the access to their ecosystem for a much cheaper price, whatever. They got Game Pass and this and that. You get all your games day one and blah blah blah. Yes, wonderful. However, if people are stuck in a position where, let's say, for example, I know we've talked about this a million times, but if they got all their friends on one system, they got all their games on one system or whatever else,
they're gonna go play where their friends are, right?
Right, and then the majority of those people are still on PlayStation, for example, right? And that's a fact. I mean, we know that. So there they are, the market leader in terms of that. So when you look at that, I think you're going to find a lot of people are going to be hesitant and say, well, I'm not going to just dump all my friends and what I have and everything else to go get the cheaper option somewhere else. They'll stay where they are and just buy less. Does that make sense? Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's
It
not
does,
a console war thing. It's not like I'm fucking saying like that Astro fuckface that likes to clip me all the time. Taking like like that fucking cunt likes to take my 2-hour podcast and then tries to clip me for 20 seconds and then thinks he's got a gotcha moment on me completely out of context. What I'm trying to say is that people, because when they get a little more hesitant and they tend to not make drastic moves. They make cautious moves, and cautious moves means, okay, I'm happy where I am, but I'm going to have to skip that game until it goes on sale, or I'm going to wait 3 months until this goes on sale or whatever. Right. And that's what ends up happening. Call of Duty, for example, last year, Black Ops 6, the majority of the Black Ops 6 spike in sales came after they discounted it. I don't know if anybody knew that. After 90 days, they discounted the game on PlayStation, and then it had a huge spike in sales. So people are waiting for those deals now. And now that things are going to increase even more, as Nintendo has done it, Microsoft has announced from Outer Worlds 2 and on, the games are not going to be $70 anymore. Now they're going to be $80, right? What are they trying to do? Well, they're trying to squeeze everybody into Game Pass at that point. So everybody is trying, these corporations are literally trying to funnel everybody to where they want you. And what I'm trying to educate the consumer is, fuck the corporations, do what is best for you. Don't get fucking bamboozled into their bullshit. And if you don't think that, like for example, if you don't think PS Plus is worth it, don't get it. If you don't think Xbox Game Pass is not worth it for you, because if you don't think you're going to play as much, then don't get it. Have your access, have the way that you can access the games or whatever. Sit down, study it, find out what games are coming out that year, and then make your decisions from there.
Okay,
and that's the way you look at it.
I have something to say. Okay, do you notice how real quick, lower price games are selling more than these expensive games?
Who'd have thought?
I know, right?
You don't say.
Like, I was like, and I knew that. I said that a few years ago, because when they were jacking up games to $70, right?
Yeah.
The two most sold games that year, well, actually three, because that one came at the end, was Hogwarts Legacy, and what's the other game that came out? Oh my God, I just knew it. And what do you call it? The Souls game that everybody loved.
Oh,
you play with
the fuck, Elden Ring.
Elden Ring. Both of them were $60 games when everybody else was at 70. Some of them pushing kind of 80 with your taxes. Those were the most sold games that year. So it's like that was saying something to the industry. We don't want $70 games. And now you got games that are coming out, some coming out $40, $50. You priced it so high that you're giving new IP a chance to get out there in the wild. And they're not thinking about your expense. Oh, it's only $40.
Well, I've said all along, the real winners here are going to be a lot of these indie developers who struggled for so long are going to get more attention on their games right now. People are going to want to jump in, and they're going to be, and if they're smart, they'll keep their games priced accordingly to, again, be more attractive and tempting to people that aren't willing to pay all that money. And we've seen right now that there are some indie developers out there that are killing it. I'm going to name one right off the hop. It's like RoboCop, Rogue City. Game is actually not even a AAA, and that game was fucking amazing, and it looked like it was AAA.
Does everybody agree to this point that I had? Because I said this on a few podcasts, if you don't mind. Sorry, Newf. Said I think new IPs should not be at full top price. They should not be. You're a new IP. You need to get that exposure out there. Your second one, if the first one is good, people will be drawn to it and be like, yeah, I'm hooked on that. I got to get that next series, even though it's going to be higher. But new IP, like Callisto Protocol, it should not have been at $70. They should have put that at $50 because it was a new IP. And then it came out broken too.
You jack up your special menu item once it becomes a hit, right, Mag? And then you fucking and then you get rid of the ones that suck.
Unfortunately, though, they can't fucking go that route because the industry sets the standard and everybody just has to follow along with the standard. Yeah. In practice, that's how it should be.
Some people are doing it. Some people are doing it.
Some people are, but they're going against the industry standard. And that's
okay, I'll say it for Mag, what he was saying.
Fuck the industry standard.
Yeah.
Well, no, I agree. Believe me.
Proto, I'll ask you while you're on that topic, then what do you think about Randy Pitchford walking back that whole fucking
love
Borderlands 4 shit?
He's so funny.
Oh, it was fucking amazing to see. It's like, good, you got your just desserts, you cockbite.
I love Borderlands. Keep it at $70. You know, because it's proven. I don't mind a game that's been proven that we enjoy playing.
Stockholders
But
are
it
like, what the
should
fuck
not
are you
have
doing,
been at
man?
$100 damn.
You're like, you could have put it at $80, but you didn't have to fucking assault your fan base to do it.
That's what happens when you shoot your fucking mouth off. You know,
Yeah, it's like the next Titanfall.
fuck around and found
How
out.
can the next Titanfall that probably will come out? I expect that to be $70 or $80. But Titanfall has proven itself finally after all the dumb thing they did with Titanfall 2. But it's proven itself. Games like that, you know what I'm saying? It's like if you're coming out, like if they make another RoboCop, it's proven itself. It can be jacked up there. It can be jacked up.
You know, it's an interesting thing too. I've noticed, for example, I'm trying to bring it more to light. I'm sure people on the panel have played it and people in the chat have played it. Little Nightmares. So Little Nightmares 3 was announced. It's been on my wish list for like 2 years because it showed up there, and then finally announced it for this October. I bought it instantly. But the thing is, it's basically half the price of what a AAA gigantic whatever new game is. Whatever. That's number one. And number two, what they did as a gift for everybody, they said anybody who bought the game, they gave you Little Nightmares next gen remaster for free, playable right now. So what you do is if you pre-order the game, which I did, I got this thing and it starts downloading and I'm like, what the hell is this? And it's like, as a gift to you for pre-ordering Little Nightmares 3, we gave you Little Nightmares 1 remastered. You can play right now. All new achievements, all new trophies, completely redone in 60 FPS, 4K, the whole 9 yards, like a full remaster, absolutely stunningly gorgeous. And they gave it to the fans for free. So when we're talking about people being picky and choosy, are you going to pick a game that might be absolute horse shit? Like, for example, a Dragon Age Veilguard, which actually is not that bad. I'm playing it right now. I got it. I got it for free. By the way, I don't know if you guys saw it.
That's why it's not that bad, because you got it for free.
I got it for free. It was on PlayStation Plus. They gave it away for free. Yeah,
I couldn't even bring myself to do that, man.
Yeah,
I couldn't.
I had a buddy who said I can get Dragon Age of Veilguard for free or herpes. He took the herpes.
Yeah, well, I mean, I already had herpes, so it's. I mean, it was a no-brainer.
You got to try something new, then, right?
Yeah,
You know what, man? You need to stay up in Canada. I didn't need to know that.
Well, you know it now. Now you know. Diablo 4 is being given away this week as well on PS Plus, right? So, I mean, those are games that you can now keep. So, if you're interested in like those games, whatever, there you go. You got a couple of games. So, if you're a discerning customer, if you're a smart customer, you start looking at things like that. I think that like you look at Claire Obscura Expedition 33 at $40 US, $50, 50 whatever dollars Canadian. And the game is phenomenal. It's going to win Game of the Year, hands down. Death Stranding 2, close second, but it's not going to win. Claire Obscura is going to win. So that being the case, people are gravitating towards games like that. They're like, okay, wow, this is interesting. Yeah. It's beautiful. It's nice. They had a talented team put this game together, and they only charged half the price of what, let's say, Assassin's Creed Shadows charges. Like Assassin's Creed Shadows up here is $93.48. $93.49 plus tax. It's $108.
Right.
Okay, it's $108 for me to buy that game. Guess what? I didn't buy it. I didn't buy it because I'm waiting. And I'm waiting for the sale because Ubisoft, you know how they are. One day they're charging you $100, the next day they're charging you $25. I got Star Wars Outlaws for $30, and my God, after they did all the post-launch fixes, bug fixes, they did quality of life changes to like the missions and the mission structures and the all that kind of stuff. It's an amazing game.
You know what?
Fucking amazing game.
It's a Game Pass now, man. I ain't gotta do nothing but download it. It's a Game Pass now.
I don't remember.
The Outlaw, it's a Game Pass now.
What?
No,
I don't think so.
It definitely is not.
I could have swore I saw it in there.
Maybe
if you're an original trilogy Star Wars fan, it's a great fucking game. And I really enjoyed it. I loved it to death. I got 100% on it and everything else. It was great. Hey, Rock 88, what's up, buddy? And so, that's how I will consume those games moving forward. Because if I've got games in my backlog that I haven't touched yet, well, guess what? I'm going to go play those games unless I'm doing like a review or it's something I need to talk about on my shows or podcasts or whatever. That's a little different. But if it's something that can wait, guess what? It's waiting for a sale because I'm a discerning customer too.
You know what's sad? Because they keep jacking up the price of these games, that's actually starting to make subscription for games a little bit cheaper and economical for these people. Because
that's the other thing.
These prices.
X-Men, they're going to be raising that shit too.
Oh, I know. I know.
Like, you know, like Game Pass is going up another $5 before the end of this year. So it's going to be $25 US. It's going to be $30 Canadian at that point. When you start getting into that territory, that's when people are going to start saying, you know what?
I'm going to basic.
Or you do that. You do this. You do this. How about this for an idea? Because I can tell you right now, the way I talk, because of the way I am, ain't nobody sending me no review codes until I start hitting 50,000 subscribers and above. Okay, they're not going to do it because they know that I'm just going to tell the truth, and people don't like that. They'd rather me blow them because they gave me a free copy of that and they sent me a fucking T-shirt.
What you did is ain't a bad review. We hooked you up.
You know what I'm saying? And then I'm like, and then you see those guys when you watch the videos, they're so disingenuous. They're like, I want to thank Ubisoft for sending me on an airplane all the way to London to play this and that, whatever. And then they give the game a 9 out of 10. And then the game is actually a 7 or whatever, right? And so you look at that, they're disingenuous, and I can't do it. As a result, you know what I did this spring? I did 4 reviews on Xbox this spring, okay? 1 on PlayStation, 4 on Xbox. And guess what I did? I waited till all those games were out at the same time on Game Pass. I fucking paid 1 month of Game Pass and played all 4 games and then reviewed them for $20. And that, or 25 Canadian, excuse me. So that's what I did, and that's what a lot of people are going to start doing. Because if you start looking at, like for example, if you're not, like right now, they released a shitload of great games, Xbox, from January until May, right? Up until Doom. Well, what's coming out between now and then? Tony Hawk. So now if they raise the price to $25, are you going to pay $25 for June where they got something you're not interested in, July, something you're not interested in, August, something you're not interested in, September, nothing, October, presumably Call of Duty. So you might have spent $100 on a subscription service that you might not be using during that time. Now, I know they got like hundreds of games in there or whatever else, but a lot of hardcore gamers have already played those. So if you think about that, people are going to start balking and saying, unless you have it stacked, like a lot of guys that I talk to, they say, oh, I got it stacked until 2076. You know, I got it till I'm dead and I'm passing it down to my children, you know, and whatever. That's great. But a lot of people who aren't, they reach out to me and saying, no, I'm not doing that. They're like, I'm waiting till October. I'm going to subscribe for 2 months. I'm going to play Call of Duty for free. You know what I mean? I'm going to play Call of Duty and then all the games I missed in the spring. Done. And that's what people are going to start doing now too. So when you start raising the price, people are going to start getting even more picky and choosy. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's just, it's a fucking cascade. Like, that's just going to keep going down and down and down, where people are not going to go out there and buy 3 fucking consoles on day one like we used to do. You know what I'm saying? You remember those days? You got you got an Xbox, a PlayStation, and a Nintendo all in the same month. I got everything. And then all of a sudden, now people are like, I can't even afford one.
Dude, I was worse. I remember I had the Xbox, PlayStation, and when the Wii and stuff like that.
Me too. I had them all right there.
And I had to buy 2 more Xbox 360s and 3 copies of Forza Motorsports because I was playing in a triple screen rig. So I was one of them that did that, and I synced them all together, and I was playing that game in 3 screens, dude. So, you know, it was different back then.
Even 5 years ago, I remember I took a picture of it. I put it on Twitter when I first started showing up on Twitter, right when I started with Newf, actually, right around that time. I was only like 2 months into the podcast scene or whatever. And I took a picture of my display. I had a PS5 digital. I had a Series X, a Series S, and a Switch all lined up in front of the thing. And I'm like, there's my family. Like, there's my gaming family right there. And then what happened? Now we're getting to a point where, like, God damn it, I could basically just afford one. So you know what a lot of people are going to do? I'm telling you this too. Let's say, for example, in the future, people are going to PC. We're seeing a lot of people going to PC, right? Why? Yep. You could play third-party Xbox and delayed PlayStation games all in one place. I'm calling it delayed because, you know, PlayStation will never launch day and date. I don't give a shit what anybody thinks. I'm telling you, it's never going to happen.
And never going to happen. On that money, Dick.
So you got PC. right? And you know, and a lot of the guys I talk to, like even a lot of guys, like even Colt has an Xbox and he tests games out on the Xbox, but he plays on a PC, right? So like, you know what I mean? And like Gaz and all those guys, Rand will always stay on an Xbox. He's like me. He's a console gamer. That's it, or whatever. So people are migrating to PC, and then people are also going to look at other situations. They're going to go, well, the PlayStation 6 is coming out. I could play all the Xbox games day one, but you have to buy them if you want to just pick and choose or whatever. But they're all there.
Jesus, that sounds wrong, doesn't it?
PlayStation day one, third party day one, all in one box. So now people are no longer going to buy an Xbox and a PlayStation. They're going to buy a PlayStation or an Xbox
because they can't afford to have them both.
That's what I'm getting at. So now this next generation, you're going to see a huge divide in where it's going to be going into dedicated hardware. You're going to see a rise in third-party hardware. And then, of course, the gap is going to go even wider between the dedicated consoles.
Yeah, I ain't buying no Xbox console for a glorified and most likely rising cost Game Pass. Fuck that shit.
I would rather pay for the games that, like, if it gets to the point where it starts getting $30 a month, I'll just buy the fucking game.
Yep.
That's it. I'll buy the fucking game. And you know what? And do you think Phil gives a shit?
Nope.
Do you think they give a shit? I talked to the fucking executives over there. They don't give a fuck where you buy them. They just want you to buy them. They want you to consume the product in one way or another, whether it's Game Pass, whether you buy it on PlayStation, whether you buy it on Xbox, or you buy it on PC, or you're on PC Game Pass. They just want you to buy it. They don't care how you consume it. So
it's every company.
Do you think Phil's going to call me?
It's the car companies. It's all of them. Dude. All of them are doing that. Right. It's just not the gaming. It's everything.
You think Sarah Bond is going to call me, or Phil Spencer is going to call me at my house and go, hey, Meg, I saw you bought Gears of War on PlayStation. We can't have that. No, you know what he's doing? He's counting his money in his Malibu fucking mansion, laughing while people are fighting online about this shit.
He's got a Malibu mansion?
I don't know. I'm just guessing. I mean, he makes $7.5 million a year, US, right? So, sorry, was it
plus the stock option?
That's
we're getting close to the end of the show. I'm gonna squeeze in one real quick. We got a few minutes. I did want to touch on something I never got a chance to talk about. And again, I want to ask you guys about this. We've kind of been down this road in a situation before, but again, this is one of those pissed me off after the fact moments, and I think we saw this coming. Let's talk about Hellblade 2. Hellblade 2, right? Game I bought day one. But they swore that it was cinematic and this is how it had to be. And apparently now it's coming to PlayStation. It's going to be 60 frames a second levels and all the bells and whistles. What the fuck is up with this shit? And again, another reason why I don't trust Xbox, why they're pissing me off more and more. So what? Do I get a free upgrade on that Hellblade then? Is that how that works? Do I have it already?
I think you will.
Yeah, I want to say that they said that once it launches for PS5 or whatever, they get that shit ready. The 60 frame upgrade will go on to the Xbox.
But why do we got to be treated like we're the people that buy the shit? And why are we the second class citizens? Why do we got to wait to get this shit? And it's like, as soon as it comes to PlayStation, it gets all the bells and whistles. They get the physical disc versions, and we get fucking, thanks for being an Xbox customer, you fucking sellouts. Seriously, because that's where I'm pretty much at with this company and all. I don't believe a fucking word they say. They're just pissing in the wind at this point. I'm really, really tired of it. I used to try to give them benefit of the doubt for a long time, but I think the last 6 months in particular was the last kick of the can to me. It's the last, like, you know what? I'm just fucking done with you guys. I'm just done with your bullshit, done with your lies, and I'm sorry. I get it. You like Xbox, and it's never going to change. Look, most of us love Xbox, but to me, I'm just tired of getting smacked in the face by a company that doesn't value the people that built the brand, because they're trying to be a publisher, but none of us invested in Xbox to be a publisher. Not one of us. If you told us on the Xbox 360 generation that this was the company we were going to invest in 2025, you know what? Every one of us would have said, go fuck yourself. Take your shit and hit the road, right? They've turned into what the Google fucking Stadia turned into being, right? But the Google Stadia tried to be ahead of its time and went under. Now, Xbox is just doing it like 5 years later, and it's like, yay, let's put our shit on a refrigerator. I don't give a fuck. I don't know. PlayStation guys shouldn't get to play Xbox games. I don't give a fuck. Those games were bought and paid for by us. We paid for that shit. We invested in that shit. It should stay on an Xbox shit, and the shit should be a fucking console, a box that we would still pay for. That's the problem. We still buy it, but what the fuck are we going to buy it for? Game Pass. Well, you know what? I've said this since day one. Fuck you, fucking Game Pass, you fucking fiddly-diddly fucking piece of shit fucking service. Go fuck your pancake motherfucking mama. Jesus Christ. Fuck me.
And there we have it.
But there is another exception. Remember when No Man's Sky finally came to Xbox? They're like, we're going to have multiplayer online for No Man's Sky. Some people on the other side got pissed off. Why did you have that with No Man's Sky for us over here?
That's a third party, though.
We're talking years to do it, so, you know.
We're talking about they own Hellblade, and at the very
they didn't
least,
own Hellblade in the beginning.
Well, at the very least, they own it now. How the hell are you not just going to push the update out to people on Xbox like now? Like, why do we have to wait?
Yeah, why we get it? I agree to that.
That's
why
what
don't
I'm
we
saying.
Get it
like,
early?
they own the game. No Man's Sky is a third party. They can do whatever they want. But I'm just saying, like, they got to prioritize people who are on Game Pass and who bought
who are loyal
console,
to
but
your console, right?
They don't care, and that's why we're all leaving like droves here. Because it's ridiculous at this point.
Yeah, I'm downloading more Xbox games to my PC than on the console.
That's what Perry and I did. We played Hellblade on PC because we wanted the frame rate.
It looks so much better on PC.
We have the Series X and we couldn't even. Why not give us the option? We have the Series X.
To answer that, it's real simple. And Mag already said it. They got their money. You consumed it already. It don't matter.
Yeah, they don't care.
You know,
they don't care that I had to play it on PC. But in the same vein, I'm not going to buy another Xbox. I'm just going to build another computer.
Well,
right.
Well,
like they brought the online,
that.
they brought the online service back for Forza 7, right? And then I put it on my PC, and because I had it on PC before. Only if you own it, you can play the game. And I forgot how much better Forza Motorsport 7 looked on a PC. So I went to my Xbox. To Xbox, Series X to play it. I'm like, it looks so washed down and washed out. And it's like you're doing more for the PC graphics than working on the graphics for this supposedly high-powered console.
Well, and not to mention the subscription is cheaper on PC, which how is that possible?
Since I own the game already, I'd be able to play it anyway.
I'm just saying, it's like they're prioritizing PC, and it's cheaper to play Game Pass on PC. Whereas I spent $500 on the Series X, it should be cheaper on the Series X. I don't know. It's like they really don't want you to buy hardware anymore.
It's funny you say that because I did mention that. I alluded to it a little bit on XNC on Monday, where I said my gut feeling, and I don't think I'm wrong, is that they don't want you on the console anymore.
Right.
They don't want you on the console. So what they're doing is it's not like a mass brainwashing, but they're trying to move everybody out of there right in front of your face. Yeah. So essentially they are removing the dedicated hardware out of your hands in front of your face while you're watching, and you're doing nothing about it. So it's like they're literally like cutting your leg off, and you're going, oh, they're cutting my leg off. Cool. You're looking down at it going, well, this is probably not a great idea, but I'm letting it happen.
They're watching it all happen.
It just seems odd. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just.
You know why it's odd, man? Because console games is what gives you really the advertising for a new game or a game. It's just sad, but it's true. Console gaming is what gives you the advertising for the game. PC games, you have your crowd and stuff like that. But if you don't have a console game that you can put out there, advertise, word of mouth, and all this stuff, people come to your house and see you playing them like, oh, that's cool. What is that? You know what I'm saying? That's the best advertising you can have for a game. I'm thinking old school way. Right.
You got Big Pickles in the house. Big Pickles, what's your perspective on this conversation right here, if you've been able to pick up on it?
Hey, Pig.
Hi, thank you for letting me jump in. I don't know why my camera won't connect. I have no clue.
Maybe you need to get a Connect.
I've got it in the living room. It listens to me. Okay, so I have 3 things I would like to add to the conversation. One, where is Wicked tonight? Did he hear that I was going to jump in and he got scared and couldn't show up?
Yeah.
Oh, he bitched out again like he did
Right?
when we trying to
That's what I'm
bowl against
saying.
each other. Right.
He heard I might jump in. He was like, "Oh, I have to stay."
Oh, by the way, do you know why the Xbox Connect was more popular with women than it was with men? Because women said it was the only thing in their house that actually listened to them.
Yeah.
It didn't even do a good job at that. That's the kicker.
The newer edition, when it came with the X, worked really good. It listened to you, everything.
Yeah.
The second thing is I just wanted to say hi, Mag, because every time I watch your videos, I just look for your little kitty cats. That's what's important to me.
Yeah, she's a cat person.
Well,
Yes.
they're wandering
Yeah,
around.
they both got the bald pussies there, so
Yeah, that's the only way I like them.
Dude, she had her cats in her lap when we were playing Battlefield the other day.
I got killed, and he's like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I'm sorry, I had to take a cute photo of my cats. They were just adorable. We just got to
stop stroking your pussy long enough to play this game."
No, and I was like, "Is that why you didn't save me? Because I was right next to you. Is that why?"
We just got a new little kittens. Now we have 3 little naked ladies. And
Oh, that's
I'm
lovely.
Obsessed. Yes,
That's
obsessed.
lovely.
Awesome.
And so what I really wanted to add, though, to the conversation is they just want you on a monthly subscription. That's how the world is moving.
That's what
Nobody wants your $50. Nobody wants your $80. Nope. They want your $25 every month, your $35 every month. And if they keep raising the games little by little by little, what they're hoping is that you're eventually going to say, hey, this isn't worth it. Why am I paying $80 for a game? It's worth it for me just to get a monthly service. But that's what they want, because I have no data for this at all. But I guarantee you there is an insane amount of people who sign up for a subscription and forget about it and don't ever use the service, and that's free money. And I guarantee you that that's millions of people. Because look, there's whole companies to help you cancel subscriptions that you don't know you're signed up for. So obviously that's what people do.
Netflix.
Right? Yeah, Netflix, car. People want you on subscriptions for features in your freaking car, right? All the software that you buy, everything we want. That's why they don't need a console, because their whole goal is just to get your money every single month.
That's
true. No, you summed it up perfectly. I mean, the writing's on the wall. I mean, I get really upset about it, and I wish I didn't. I go off the handle sometimes. I get, and it's. I guess it's just because I always tell people they don't understand this, because I'm very passionate about the product. It's like Tim Dog. I have nothing but love and respect for Tim Dog, and I love it because he's the guy that always went to bat for the company, and he stuck out for them, and I think he's right most of the time, whether people agree or disagree. I think
you would go get your cat, wouldn't you?
That's the new one, isn't it? One of the latest ones.
You know what's sad? And I thought about it, Pink. You made me think about your cheapest subscription out here now, and I never thought is Sirius XM. It's still just $9.99.
Keep threatening canceling, they'll get it cheaper.
Oh yeah, I know. I've seen them drop it to
keep going down.
Yeah.
Okay, so who is this? A little lady, a little guy? Who is this? Please introduce us.
This is Gizmo. Look what you did to Mr. Bigglesworth. Yeah, this is Gizmo. This is the boy. The girl is upstairs.
Okay, so here's an important question, because I noticed when you picked him up, did you sniff your cat?
Always. He smells like soap all the time. He like shampoo. He loves it.
I am obsessed with sniffing the naked cats. We have a fluffy cat. I don't ever sniff her. Who cares? The naked cats smell so unique. Oh my God, I'm obsessed with it. Frank was over our house, and I basically shoved the cats in his face, and I was like, they're like being manhandled. Hold them, pet them, love them, sniff them, and I just shoved the cat under his nose.
I have fluffy cats, so I'm like, oh, I don't want to smell this thing. And then I'm like, wait, it actually smells good. Like, it's weird. I don't know why.
Such a unique smell, though. Oh my God, I love it so much. I sniff my little.
The no hair is a big thing.
Yeah.
So that's a huge thing. It's like because they don't smell, they don't shed. There's no allergies. There's no anything. It's just like they like a lot of people don't even know that I have them. So then when they see them, They're just like, oh, I didn't even know you had cats. Because, like, you know how, like, sometimes, like, cats, like, when you go to a person that has cats, you can smell cat in the house, right?
Yeah.
Because the hair and stuff like that. These guys don't smell like anything. So they just wander around. But I have a boy and a girl. Luna is the girl, and then Gizmo is the boy. Yeah. And they're just
I noticed there's a difference between the cat and the dog, right? Dogs fight you more when they're trying to give them a bath than cats. Once you get your cat used to it. And I found that funny.
These cats aren't afraid of anything. Now you got to keep in mind, these cats are not afraid of dogs. They're not afraid of people. When the doorbell rings, they both run to the door and throw themselves at the door like a dog. Like they always greet you. They're always there all the time. Like they're basically a dog. They even answer to their names.
Oh my God, that's what we always. I'm always like they're the dog of cats.
Yeah, basically
there's like a burglar ransacking your house, and they're running up to them like, "Please pet me, hold me,
exactly.
love me."
Hey, real quick, everybody, because I know Perry jumped off. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and jump off. I got to get up early anyway, so figure get Perry back on and stuff.
Thanks,
and let you guys
thanks for
finish
being
out.
here, Proto.
Yeah,
always.
You gonna ride the bike tomorrow, Proto?
Man, I've been on the bike for 2 weeks because I ain't got a truck right now.
Hey, man, cover up that head, man.
Yeah, cover up the sunburn. But y'all take it easy, and of course,
Later, man.
much
See you
love.
next week.
It was awesome, all that good shit. Mag, great being with you as always.
Yeah, it was
Pickles,
a pleasure
great being with you as always. Awesome. I'll see you guys later.
Later, Proto.
Later,
Take it
brother.
easy. We'll see you next week,
Be
brother.
careful out there,
Yes,
my
sir.
friend. Be careful. All right.
All right.
I have to bail too, so it's super late here.
Yeah, I'm mad right now.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap this up here in a second. It's been a fun show, though. I probably won't even get into last time. It was just about some of the leaked Battlefield footage, but from what I've seen, it looks pretty fucking good.
Oh yeah,
bringing back a couple game modes. I tried to get the video for the show, but they already pulled it down off a couple of the sources that had the videos posted. So it's kind of
probably would have got flagged if you did that.
Yeah, they're starting to crack down on people now.
But yeah, they did show off a couple of things, and they still have the original teaser trailer that was up from a couple of months ago that showed the destruction. But I think this one that they showed today, or the last couple of days, they were talking about. They showed off some intense tank battles, a battle royale mode, a campaign mode. They're even saying that it can run at 120 frames a second on the PlayStation 5, even though it's not a PlayStation 5 Pro, although not officially confirmed. And they did a play test of one of the old. Everybody's saying that they're getting the Battlefield 3 vibes, which is a fantastic thing. So all indications from everybody I've talked to, and even the guy that I actually know, who, believe it or not, yes, actually not an insider, he actually works for the EA. Couldn't give me all the details. He did say if you love Battlefield 3, this one would be right up your alley. So I have high hopes and crossing my fingers because, honest to God, I don't know about you guys, but I have zero interest in Black Ops 7 this year. I am not touching with the 10-foot pole. I'm not going to fill up my hard drive with bullshit, for one, and I do not like the futuristic whatever the fuck they're going for in Call of Duty. So I'm all in on Battlefield this time.
Well, you already know me. I'm a Battlefield person, so
Totally.
you know I'm getting that day one.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was going to say, I agree with the It guy in the chat, brother. And speaking of the It guy, thanks for coming out and playing some Call of Duty with us on the weekend. I had a blast with you, man. It was awesome. And, he said it actually might even overtake COD. I think that's a far stretch because I think COD is just so entrenched that, Battlefield can make the best game on the fucking planet. I don't think it'll be able to take it over. But
Also,
but I definitely think Battlefield will be back.
Battlefield won't be this year anyway. So
yeah, it'll be in March. They talked about maybe.
Yeah,
March.
They're shooting for quarter. Well, they were originally saying Q2 2026. I think that's a bad idea. As GTA 6 is coming out during that time, I know they're two different genres, but it doesn't make a difference. The point is the mind share is there, and the mind share is going to be with Grand Theft Auto. So. Like, it doesn't matter what you have, a racing game, you can have a platformer, you can have this and that. Everybody's going to be playing GTA 6. So at that point, what you're going to have to do what they originally said they projected for March 2026. Smart idea. It stays away. Now, the other thing is there's another game out in the mix. I don't know, Newf, have you seen this one? It's called Delta Force.
Yeah.
It's coming out August 19th for consoles. So it'll be
I remember
August
the old
19th.
PC versions.
Yeah, well, August 19th. It came out six months ago on PC. August 19th for series consoles and PlayStation.
Hey, Mav, did you see that Expanse video?
No.
Oh, dude, you got to pull up the Expanse game video.
I will check it out.
That thing is off the chain. I'm looking forward to that.
Speaking of fun games to play, Maggie, I know you get the MetaQuest 3, dude. You got to try that Population 1 if you haven't done so already.
I have Population 1. Yeah, it's
awesome.
amazing. Yeah, it's so cool. There's nothing cooler than when you jump up on the what's it called? Why can't I think of it? You know, like when you're in the pod, and then like you kind of like you launch out into like the thing. Oh, it's
and then you fly out on the little cape or whatever. Yeah, it's awesome.
Then
Perry just picked up. There you go. Perry got that puppy. Look, he's got the Xbox version of it.
Oh yeah. By the way, I heard they're not selling that in Canada. Is that true?
Could be true. I haven't seen it up here yet.
Yeah, I don't think they're selling. I think it's in the U.S. only.
Comes with a wicked controller too. The limited edition controller.
Yeah, I might keep that and sell it.
You would.
I haven't even tried. I set up an account and I added you, and then something happened and I couldn't.
It's not available. What a bunch of fucking clowns! It's not available in Canada.
Hey, you got friends in the States?
I'm half American. But I'm not going to go there and get a fucking. The only difference is that they give you 3 months of Game Pass with it and the controller. I'll just get a MetaQuest 3. I got Game Pass on this TV right here. You know what I mean? So I mean, the MetaQuest is pretty awesome though. But I mean, I'm such a huge Resident Evil fan, so like PSVR 2 really wants me to get it. I really want to get that just for the Resident Evil VR.
How much would it cost up there?
Well, it's not that. It shouldn't be that much anymore.
Now it's almost half the price, I think.
Yeah, it's like $350 now, something like that, like Canadian, which is not bad. But I mean, I don't know. But like I hear that that Batman, what is it called, Arkham Shadow game for MetaQuest 3 is fucking amazing.
Amazing, yes.
Yeah, and it's not like a short game. It's not like an experience. It's actually like 11-hour fucking game. You know what I mean?
No, I think it's about 20-something hours, somebody said.
Holy Christ.
Which means you'll have to charge your headset about 20 fucking times to play it.
Yeah, but I don't even think I can handle that much VR anyway. Like after about an hour or so, I got to take that fucking thing off, man. I can't.
This time of the year, it's too sweaty. Like I find your face because it's too convoluted. Next thing you know, you got to pull it off your head. You're going to wake up with like rashes and pimples around your eyes or some shit.
Well, I got no problem down here.
Just get you one of those strapped ice packs and put it on your head.
You know, the problem with VR is that I get scared. I don't like not being able to see what's going on in the real world. Yeah, I know you can press a button and check it out, but like, you know what I mean? Like I'm in the basement here. It's temperature controlled down here because I got arcade cabinets and whatever, and it's cold as fuck down in this basement, right? But the thing is, it's just like at the same time, I don't want to be down in the basement alone with a fucking headset on.
Playing a scary game and then somebody
MetaQuest, you're not tied to anything. You can take it in any room in the house and play it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's 4 to 5 feet of space on the left, right, and front, center.
Like, I don't want to be playing Resident Evil Village on a PSVR 2 in the basement, and then my wife touches me and says, "Hey, honey, I'm going to bed," and then I have a fucking heart attack because
or you accidentally hit him. Because you didn't know who it was.
Christ, I don't need that in my life.
I'm calling the police right now. Look at this black eye.
I was doing the boxing app on my MetaQuest. I almost punched my wife in the face. I just missed her.
Well, that's what you told the cops anyway, right? I just want to make sure.
She was walking by, I just grazed her. Like,
officer, I swear to God, I was wearing a MetaQuest on my head.
He'll be like,
fell down the stairs and I punched her, but it was not. No, anyway, all joking aside. Newf, your wife.
What's going to happen with the porn apps? Jesus.
I know. No, have you seen some of that shit on Pornhub, by the way?
Just so the cop that. That's all you got.
I found the right hole for a change.
Have you seen some of that shit like on like Pornhub and stuff? I have laughed my balls off. Where like it says stepson using VR and stepmom walks in. Right. And then like he's got like the headset on. He's like, ooh, this is awesome. And then all of a sudden, like the fake stepmom walks in and starts doing stuff. He goes, "This headset is so realistic." I'm like, dude, you would 100% know if an actual human being decided to, you know what I mean? It's so funny, man. You got to watch that shit. Even not for actual like gratification. It's just for the comedy. Just watch it for the comedy, please. It's like when
what is your character?
You know, like those videos that like the stepmom gets stuck in the dryer.
Spin cycle.
You know, and she's like, I'm like, the fucking hole of the dryer is this big. How'd you get stuck in it? You know, anyways, whatever.
Newf,
Okay,
I
guys,
gotta-
it's super late here. I gotta go.
Get ready to wrap it up here, guys.
Yeah.
So, real quick,
I gotta go
I'll
play
take
Mecha
like,
Break.
I'll take 3 questions tops if you want to ask Arnold, Cletus, or Safe House, and then we'll move on and close this show. So might as well do them while I'm here. So go ahead. Anybody got a question for any of those legends?
Yes,
Cletus,
I have
Safe
one
House, or
question.
Arnold?
I got one question before I bail. What do you
For
think
who?
about the new Running Man remake?
Oh, for Arnold?
Yes, for Arnold.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Oh God, what the hell? I mean, did I have to remake everything? Because nothing's sacred in this world anymore. I'm just tired of it. I mean, I was the perfect specimen for that movie. I mean, only I could fill out the yellow suit the way I can. I mean, now they got Glenn Powell in it, for fuck's sake. He's just a little puny guy. He belongs in the cockpit of Top Gun with little fucking puny actor like Tom Cruise. I am the real mega deal. I am the guy that's going to get the job done. You know, I'm the one who put the fucking hero around Sub-Zero in that movie. Don't forget it. So I don't know what the fuck they're doing, but we should stop making over my movies. I mean, who they're going to put in the Terminator next? It's going to be some little pipsqueak. What are they going to do? Bring fucking Mr. Bean in the next to be the Terminator? You know? Like, really, it's crazy. I don't like it. So, no, I'm not really cool on all these remakes. And they're not going to cast me, even if I'm 100 years old. I can be the running man. I never said what kind of running. I could be running some diarrhea in my fucking pants.
You'd be like Cerebral Paul in the wheelchair with Rocket.
Cool, great question.
Arnold, there's a photo of you hugging Newf Nukem because Pornhub is coming to Game Pass. What's that all about?
Yes.
Oh my God. He said yes.
Newf Nukem is a great guy, and unfortunately, every once in a while, he gets actually excited when somebody says Game Pass. He just tries to hide his excitement when he's online because he's a real fake ass. So, you know, sometimes when I get close to him and we're talking about all these great games, you know, he'll get a little woody, you know, for me on that stuff like that. So it's great, you know. So don't mind all the pictures. We're just close, buddy. It's very close.
Hey, Newf Nukem, I would like for you to be in another Demolition Man with you, Arnold, and Samuel Jackson.
I was never in the original Demolition Man.
Yeah, I know. I'd like you to be a Demolition Man too.
I don't want to be in it with an actor who's more archaic than me. And then, of course, you're going to have Samuel L. Jackson. I mean, my God, that guy he's been in more films than there have been cocks in that. What the fuck is the name? The Screw the 1,000 Guys. Like,
he'd be like, get these motherfucking snakes out my motherfucking remote car.
Yeah, get your motherfucking cock out your motherfucking wife. What the hell? Doing. All right. We're going to wrap it up, guys. It's been a great show. Honestly, huge thanks to Mag tonight for being here. I sent it to Batsick because it is Canada Day, and I wasn't sure if he'd have enough time to do this, but I'm glad he jumped in. It's always a great time he's here. Pink Pickles, thanks for stopping in. And it was a little on the late side, but we're glad that you jumped in for a couple of minutes to be a part of this awesome show. And, of course, to my amazing panel and to our guest, Fazah, who was here again tonight. And like I said, we carried the load. We'll let everybody get out of here. But before we do, again, for those of you who missed Ur Wicked Hawt, he will be back again next week. He had some issues to take care of, so he couldn't be here. Proto Foxy had to kind of bounce because he's got to get to work. Plus, we had to make room for the full 6 people on the show here, so that's okay. But let's let everybody get out of here, and we will start with the Mag. We'll let him get out so he can continue on with his night. So, brother, let people know where you can check you out. You are doing some incredible work lately. You've been a very busy man, I can see. Not only streaming, but doing your podcast and doing the XNC. So, yeah, you're definitely tenfold up on the podcasting side of things for sure. So let people know where they can at least catch up with you when you're not hanging out with us scumbags.
Yeah, man. Well, it was a pleasure being here, catching up with you guys. It was great, and gal. But I am the Mag Show. You can find me, of course, on YouTube under The Mag Show, all capital letters, The Space Mag Show. I know some people are like, I can't find you. I'm like, well, that's how you find me. You can also find me on Twitter, of course, at Middle Age Game Guy as well. You can find me on PlayStation and Xbox on I Am The Mag, all capitals, one word. And yeah, I've been doing all kinds of stuff. I've got I got a legion of maggots that are now part of the equation now. I got 28 new members this week. So we got members coming in. I'm doing live streams. I'm doing actual videos. So I'm doing all that. And of course, on Mondays, I'm doing XNC as well. I'll be doing members only magcasts on Tuesday, just for like 30 minutes or so, just to catch up with the community. And so, yeah, man, I'm doing all kinds of crazy stuff, and I'm going for it, man. I'm just, just like really, really going for it. And I love it. And it's just amazing. Like even the streaming, and basically the streaming that I do, the streaming is fun and I love it. And the chat's always awesome and so supportive, but it's basically just a podcast with me playing games. Right. So, we do that and people ask questions and we talk and whatever else. And we keep doing that. And then of course I drop my little 4 or 5 minute videos on top of that about what's going on and what and so yeah, just rocking it out, and I'm just having a fucking blast doing it. And it's funny, I always think to myself, like that 5 years ago when I first reached out to Newf for the first time, I thought to myself, man, you should have also launched your channel at the same time. And I'm like, no, I think the timing was the right timing now, and I think it was just enough for me to mature in the YouTube space where I can understand it a little better and get my footing and understand this business and how it works and all that stuff, and then really go for it. And let me tell you something, man. There's nothing I would want more than to do this full time. I would fucking drop everything to do this full time.
I was going to say, well, I think your channel's already fairly exploded. I remember not long ago when you kind of got started, and I think you're already past monetization, correct?
Oh yeah. No, I got members now.
I think you've already surpassed my fucking subscriptions. Mine have been stagnant for about 2 years now. Ever since I shut down GAD the first time, I don't know what the fuck happened, but this channel just like literally died. I don't know. I don't do as much as I used to. That's part of the problem, is I'm not doing Good Morning Xbox and stuff anymore. But like, I just don't understand how it's been as slow as it's been. But regardless, I didn't get into it for that, so I'm not going to sit here and cry about it. It is what I'm having fun doing this, and that's all that really matters at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's so much fun. I love it. I mean, it's hard work too. I mean, it's not like it's easy. It's like what we do is just like even doing these shows, doing a podcast or whatever. By the time you're done, it's exhausting, man. It's exhausting. Like you're just like, holy fuck.
When you do it multiple times a week, it gets really exhausting. Like,
and
talk about a lot of the same topics and keep the same energy and be able to articulate.
Yeah,
and you have those great nights, where it flows, and there's other days where you're like, man, you feel like a bumbling idiot, right?
Yeah. It's a performance. It really is. It's a performance at the end of the day. So to put it all together and to be able to do it, and then I have this ridiculous amount of energy that I've always had. And I don't drink coffee. I don't do drugs. I don't do any shit like that. I drink a lot. But either way, that doesn't matter. But like I have all this crazy energy all the time. And to maintain that when I'm doing my videos and all that stuff, everybody's like, how are you doing this? How are you doing this? And I'm like, I don't know. It's just me. So it is what it is, but hey, there it is. There's a link in the chat, the chat right there. Newf just popped it up for the channel, but I will be dropping another video tomorrow morning about the Nintendo thing. I've got another surprise video coming somewhere towards the end of the day, either tomorrow or the next day. It's about, I'll give you a hint. It's got something to do with Capcom. So I will talk about that very soon in this week. And then I'll be streaming Death Stranding tomorrow night on the PS5 as well. So doing all kinds of stuff. But anyways, boys, girl, I have to get going. And
chat. Say hello to the family for me, man. Take care.
Absolutely, brother. And then we will work on getting together in Niagara Falls. All right.
Sounds good. That's November this year, though. Yeah.
Everybody have a good one.
Throw him over a barrel. Throw him over a barrel.
Later, guys.
Throw him over a barrel. All right, awesome stuff. Great to have Mag on the show. Let's let everybody get out of it, including our guests. We'll start with Pink Pickles. Obviously, let people know where they can catch up with you. You do a fun little show on what is it? Is it Sunday night you do the show? Yeah, Sunday.
Yeah, so Sunday nights around 9ish on 4GQ TV. I do Majestic Mayhem with Death Dealer. Eventually, I'll get back to streaming on Thursdays. I've just been doing a lot of overtime, so I'm just tired when I get home. And when I'm not playing video games, I'm huffing my cats.
There you go. I like it. Sir X-Man, let people know where they can catch up with you, brother.
I can't believe cats are a drug. But
I'm addicted.
But nah.
I need
rehab. I'm upset because I gotta wait till 11 p.m. because they said 9 p.m. Then I re-looked at the fine print. It's West Coast time, Pacific time. So I'm like, come on, I'm ready to play. So by the time I get out of here, it'd be ready. So me waiting kept me with the whole show. You don't know how many times I tried to load that game on my PC and play it. It said not available to 11 p. at 9 p.m. Pacific time. You bastards.
Oh wow, that's it.
But,
I'm sure you'll tell us all
everybody-
about it next week.
Everybody support this game, Make a Break. It's free to play,
Mhm.
and it's on PC and only Xbox.
Nice.
So,
Make a-
and
make
it
a
is
break.
cross-play with the Xbox app.
Okay.
So
cool.
yeah, or you could get it from Steam. I'm gonna have it in all 3 places.
Let's check it out. All right. Fazza, Mr. Frank, what's happening with you next, brother? Let people know where they can follow you on social media or your personal channels.
You can find me on X at FZA928, the same as my username here. You can find me every Wednesday night on the GameComplainers podcast between 9:30 and 10 with Perry and a couple other guys. So check it out.
Absolutely. Look at that guy, short and to the point. Ain't no beating around the bush with this fella. Last but not least, the man with the shades, man on a mission, the man who has the epic rants once in a while. It is Mr. Perry. Let people know
Once in a while,
It's like every night.
I know, right?
Exactly. Like Max said, it's a performance on top of that. So
I
That's
know.
right. It'll be exhausting. 19 years, man. That's a long time, bro.
yeah, I know. I'm very tired. of it.
You got to be one of the originators at that fucking level.
Yeah, I started in 06, June of 06.
Yeah.
So
YouTube wasn't even a big fucking deal back then.
yep.
Not like it is now.
It was insane. I started doing the wrestling stuff, and then I started jumping into gaming because the wrestling was dying out because it was just getting boring.
Mhm.
So I jumped into gaming. I was like, well, I love games, so I'll do that. So we started that and forget about it. It just blew up.
Mhm.
But you can find me here every Tuesday night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern on Newkem's channel for Gaming After Dark. And then you can find me every Wednesday between 9:30 and 10 p.m. Eastern for the GameComplainers podcast with myself, Frank up in the corner there, Anthony, and Fred, and whoever the hell else wants to come in.
Oh my God, dude! You know what, Perry? You gave me an actual pretty good idea for a neat little podcast. You want to hear it?
What?
Okay, so what you do, you get a podcast together. Everybody creates their own wrestler persona with costume, the whole 9 yards. You gotta dress up for this at least once a week, and then you're gonna cut a promo against each other. Okay, and then we're
Not
gonna
gonna
buy a
happen.
wrestling. We're gonna buy a wrestling game and create our character in screen as close as we can to our real selves, and then fucking battle it out.
Oh yeah,
Def Jam Vendetta too.
Wouldn't that be fucking cool?
hell yeah, that'd be cool.
Like a real life the real life promo to the fight, and then you like live fight the thing on that'd be so cool, man.
In WWE, you could scan your face and put it in the game.
Well, there you go.
And you could share your character, by the way. So, like, if people in the chat want to download us,
Yeah,
they could download our characters and stuff like that.
we might
Really
be some of the ugliest wrestlers in the game, but that's okay. We'll get the job done. That would be kind of cool. I think it would be kind of fun. Yeah.
Hey, man, you let me know. We'll do it.
Cutting your own promo every week, and you actually literally get to dress up. Maybe get the tassels
Yeah,
like the
get the
Ultimate
old man
Warrior
mask.
here or whatever.
God,
Where is
Yeah.
it?
don't
You
make
have
me
it on
wear
there?
it. Oh, it's over there.
Oh, you gotta get-
Bowling
you gotta get-
Sunday.
You gotta get
Hurry
a
up.
Red Rooster
Hurry up,
costume
hurry
or what?
Go get the mask. Hurry up.
Oh, I can't. It's over there. I gotta take it out and it's in
Oh,
the
you got
bag.
You got one of those like Rey Mysterio masks or whatever.
I have a Spider-Man Rey Mysterio mask downstairs.
Okay, cool.
Oh, that would be so cool.
Nice. All right. And you guys know where to find me, hanging out with these cast of characters each and every week. Again, we'll be back again next Tuesday. But until then, have yourself a great night. We hope that you enjoyed the show and all our amazing guests. And take care, have fun, and most importantly, game on.
Bye.